but you're out of them. That's why. But yeah, good
We'll
job.
see.
Keep it
I'll
up.
have to prove you wrong.
Stop being a bad influence, Nidal. Don't listen to him.
Come on, man.
Oh, we
Oh,
have doctors here.
I'll
Oh
sit her.
my
I'll join you in a second.
this whole Doctors Against Genocide is not doing good primary
Oh,
care prevention.
David is here. Actually, we said genocide is the worst public and global health or global public health emergency. So this takes priority over the other ones. Because I know people who, oh, quit smoking will fix the world. No, it's not going to fix the world. There are more urgent things.
Okay, we are on Nidal.
Are you recording? I did not hear
Yes,
recording.
it's all recorded.
No, I did not hear it. Are you sure? I don't think it's recording, Ikram.
It's recording. I just checked X,
فضحنا
YouTube,
حالنا.
everything.
I
Yes,
can see
you're
the
fully
heart.
exposed.
Guys, sorry. I mean, this is supposed to be.
Scratch the first 2
But
seconds.
anyway, you are all family. You're all home now. Anyone against the genocide is family. Okay, so thank you everyone. If we are on, thank you. Welcome back to the weekly Doctors Against Genocide webinar. And we wish that the genocide will end one day soon so we can stop doing these and start worrying about other things, doing more productive things for humanity. But unfortunately, the genocide continues by other means, other genocides in Africa. Oh, so it was not recorded. So it was good. Okay, now it's recording. We don't hear you, Karam. Karam, you're muted. Okay, welcome.
It was live stream.
Oh, it was live stream, but no recording. Good. At least it's not going to go in the web. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining our weekly Doctors Against Genocide webinar. We really appreciate that you keep coming back and welcome the new people who are joining us. And again, as I said earlier, we wish that all genocide will stop, so we stop doing these things. But as long as there are genocides in Palestine, in Africa, in Sudan, in Congo, Rohingya, we have to continue to do this type of advocacy and education and raising awareness. And as long as there are systems and structures that enable genocide, injustice, oppression, occupation, apartheid all over the world, this means it is impinging on health, on global health, which means that this is part of our job as a medical community and supporters of justice and people of good conscience all over the world. We are not doing this because we are politicians or we like politics. We are not doing this because we want to be cool. We are not doing this because we want to be activists or celebrities. We are doing this because this is our job. We care. We go to school to protect life, to protect the sanctity of life, to prevent the loss of life, every life equally the same, whether it's in Detroit or in Gaza or in Congo or in Sudan or in Rohingya. As doctors, as healthcare workers, people of conscience, every life is worth the same for us, and it is part of our duty as medical professionals to defend it and to do everything we can to protect it. And as we all know in medicine, prevention is worth more than reaction and treatment, and we can save more lives with prevention. That's why we want to educate our medical community and the public in general that preventing these crimes, preventing genocides, dismantling these structures of oppression that lead to genocide, dismantling hate and racism that leads to genocide. If we prevent one genocide, if we can prevent one war, if we can prevent one injustice, we can save more lives than what we can do being in our regular clinical duties for decades. So again, thank you everyone. We have our colleagues here who are panelists, Doctors Against Genocide, regular panelists. We have people on the ground in Gaza. They usually come every week and they report to us about the situation, how's the situation there. Our partners in Gaza who are running some of our projects also do come and report on what they're doing. The same is the situation with our partners in Congo and in Sudan. And we have our colleagues and Daxters here who went to DC last week. And we have actually a very good experience. It was our best visit ever so far in terms of the number of appointments we managed to have, the way it went, very smooth, very well organized. Thanks to Dr. Iman and Dr. Dania, and also the number of people who came. So it seems that whatever we are doing is working. We have more and more healthcare workers interested in coming to DC to join us, and we have more and more offices willing to hear from us. And even our perception there was different this time, because we noticed that many of the officers that we met are more or closer to our opinion, interested in hearing what we want to say, and in a way more responsive, and they are interested to work with us. So that is good news. This is a movement. We need to build it. We need to, one of the offices, I think, David, okay, I'll leave it to David to share that when we come to it. But anyway, one of the senators that David met told him, if you bring me 1,000 doctors next time, I can do or pass any resolution you want, because then I know that there are people out there who can back us up. So David is working on that. That's going to be David's mission going forward. But we will come back to this after we hear from our colleagues in Gaza, and it seems we already have a few of them. We have Engineer Ali and Engineer Rami. They're our dear partners in Gaza. They are running our project with the individuals with disability in Gaza, that include mainly visual disabilities, but we are also adding now mobility disability and mental disability and other kinds of disabilities. So they're gonna give us an update on their work. I think they had a significant food distribution last week that they can share with us. Rami is gonna share with us his vision or his plan going forward, how we can help this community, which is usually more impacted than average people, although we know that everyone in Gaza is suffering. And we have our new doctor, the most brilliant doctor, Dr. Izzulul, who just graduated from the medical school last month, despite Israel, despite the United States, despite the genocide, despite the horrors. He graduated from medical school, and Ez has a long story, but he is the most brilliant, the most resilient, the most role model medical student you can deal with. He's not a student anymore. And this is the first time that doctors and attending doctors like us and many professors, this is the first time in history that doctors, us, are gonna be learning from students. So Ez is gonna be educating all of us on how impactful the work he's been doing. So we have been partnering with Ez. He has the Samer Foundation project to take care of the medical students, help them with their school and education, and support them, support their families. Then we have Monzer Abu Rabi', the son of Beit Lahia, the red gold, the strawberry capital of the world. Monzer is a troublemaker, and every week he's going to come with a new type of trouble, but we love hearing from his trouble. So ahla wa sahla. And so let's begin. I don't want to keep talking. I already talked too much. So let's begin with Ali and Rami to talk about the disability group, because usually their internet connection is a little bit weak and unpredictable. So we're going to start with them. Then we're going to go back to Ez and other colleagues from Gaza and Monter and everyone. Ali and Rami, who wants to start first?
Thanks, Dr. Nidal.
اهلا رامي تفضل.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you also, اذا بدك انت, since you know Ali better, if you can translate for him too. That will be good. تفضل.
Yeah, I just want to make a presentation and then take the opportunity Ali to share anything he needs. Yeah.
Ali, are you there?
أنا معك يا دكتور.
Okay. So Rami, do you prefer that we go first with the food distribution that you did last week, talk about that, then talk about your presentation on the project, or how you're going to do it? I'll leave it up to you to see what's the best way to present your work and present your, your suggestions for the future going forward.
Yeah, the presentation includes the third
Oh, it does?
phase
Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
of
sure. Go ahead.
distribution, and then we will talk to the new strategy we have.
Okay, perfect. You need to share the slides?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Nadal, as you know, that in response to the critical situation in Gaza, the project in three phases delivered immediate life-saving food assistance and comprehensive support to people with disabilities, especially for visually impaired people who are considered the most vulnerable people here in Gaza. As you know that our phased approach has enabled us to dramatically scale our impact by adapting to market dynamics, as you know, across the three consecutive distribution phases by a significant increase in cost efficiency. Firstly, at phase one, initial targeting, and this targeted visual impairment focus provide the critical aid to approximately more than 300 beneficiaries with visual impairment. This launch phase faced major challenges, including supply chain disruption and severe market inflation. As you know, the cost per food parcel reaching $130. But in the second phase, our reach has been expanded. Also, this target visual impairment focus, but we scale up to reach more than 600 beneficiaries, maintaining focus also on the visual impaired community. But it is marked a period of stabilization and improved procurement planning, as you know. In the third phase, we have major scale up and multi-disability approach, as you know, achieved a significant lead, reaching more than 1,000 beneficiaries with visual, physical, and intellectual disabilities. This rapid expansion was strategically possible because, as you know, the cost per food parcel decreased to $60, allowing us to stretch our resources further and assist a much larger number of vulnerable individuals without compressing the quality or quantity of it. This is a brief description about our last implementation. The proposed response expansion. So we propose to expand our work, our scope, the project from food to comprehensive support. As you know, the crisis of Gaza evolves, so we must adapt our response. We propose expanding our mission beyond food assistance to address the full spectrum of needs faced by people with disabilities. Why that? Why this expansion is necessary? Because, as you know, food security is no longer the sole top priority, while still essential. Two key factors enable this transition. Firstly, the health, non-food needs have emerged as critical for survival and dignity. A relative decrease in food prices has made it more accessible, allowing us to reallocate part of our focus. The new priority needs we must address, firstly, the health and mobility, the mental health, the basic living conditions. So we will transition to flexible multi-sector support model that includes health and mobility aids, psychological support sessions, essential non-food items, tailored cash assistance, and so on. Let's briefly revisit the humanitarian needs overview study, which has been conducted by a Gaza Forum for Blindness People in April 2025. As you see, it reveals a severe housing crisis among people with disabilities in Gaza, for example, with over than 76% living in conditions of direct displacement. The largest group, 43%, resides in makeshift tents, highlighting extreme vulnerability and the critical need for stable, adequate shelter as a foundation for all other assistance. This data also reveals a critical inadequacy in living conditions, with over than 81% of people with disabilities residing in environments unsuitable for their needs. This highlights severe lack of accessible and safe displacement settings. Essential needs during displacement, as you see that the needs of people with disabilities during displacement are diverse and extend far beyond food assistance. While food packages remain important, around 17%, other critical needs include cash assistance, 18%, health kits, 16%, bedding and blankets, more than 13%, and tents and covers, more than around 13%. This demonstrates the necessity of a comprehensive response that addresses multiple essential needs simultaneously. Special needs of individuals with visual impairments. This data also reveals that individuals with visual impairments require diverse and specific assistive tools like magnifying glasses, speaking assistants, and so on. Need for psychological and social support. This data highlights a critical need for mental health services, with over than 71% of persons with disabilities requiring psychological and social support. This significant demand underscores the profound impact of displacement and the crisis on mental well-being, emphasizing the urgent necessity of integrating mental health care into humanitarian response programs or projects. The proposed intervention, as you see, we propose around 6 interventions: health, like provide the visual impaired person with medical classes, minor surgeries, medications, assistive tools like walking cane, voice assistant applications, and so on. Non-food items, psychological support, cash assistant, educational tools, especially braille printers to the educational books, and so on. Our implementation mechanism will begin by identifying the most vulnerable individuals through our existing database, followed by field visit for detailed needs assessment. The priority needs are then met through a structured process of procurement, direct payment to vendors, and through financial auditing. With every step will be documented to ensure transparency and accountability. The project duration will be for 3 months, from December 2025 to
Rami, are you still there? Hello? Did we lose connection with Rami?
His screen is still there.
Yeah.
Let's just give him a minute.
Let's wait a minute on him.
Oh, it's gone now.
Yeah, I mean, they have been complaining about the connections lately, so most probably that's what's happening. Ali, are you still there? I think we lost Rami. Ali, are you still there? Ali?
دكتور
Yeah, شكله رامي
إيه،
lost the connection, lost the internet.
شكله رامي خلينا اتواصل معه وارجع لك تاني اشوف
اوكي
كيف الامور عنده.
ماشي الحال.
اوكي تمام.
Is Iz still here or no? Iz?
hello.
Yeah, Rami, are you back?
Yeah.
أهلا
I'm
وسهلا.
sorry.
Yeah, we lost you for a minute. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay, this is the budget allocations. As you know that we allocate the budget for many items. The health has 32%, non-food items 25%. It depends, this allocation depends on the prioritizing the needs of the disabled person in general and the visually impaired person specifically. And thank you, Dr. Lal. علي تفضل إذا في أي إضافة أو تحكي عن النشاط السابق.
تمام، يعطيك العافية. باشمهندس رامي، أنت إحنا ممكن نتحدث عن موضوع اللي هو تقصد توزيع الطرود، صح؟
تفضل.
تمام. تمام. هو تمام. هو بخصوص الطرود الغذائية في المرة السابقة تقريبا تم توزيع 1025 طرد لصالح فئة ذوي الإعاقة بشكل عام. كان في اللي هو ذوي الإعاقة البصرية.
ممكن ترجم له يا رامي if you have a good connection.
The third phase of distribution, we targeted 1,025 person of the disabled person in general, especially for the visually impaired persons. علي تفضل.
تم التعاون مع مؤسسات الإعاقة الأخرى للحصول على بيانات وداتا ذوي الإعاقة الحركية والذهنية أيضا. وتم توزيعها على
We built a cooperation with many disabled institution to get the database or get the beneficiaries from those institutions, prioritizing the most needed people who are registered in those database. We put
تم
a
التوزيع في
criteria.
3 مناطق.
The distribution has been implemented in 3 areas, in Gaza, Middle and South areas. So we target all the Gaza areas, the Gaza Strip areas.
بخصوص المعايير اللي تم اللي هو الاعتماد عليها خلال التوزيع، كانت الأسر الكبيرة 5 أفراد فما فوق.
We put criteria to choose those beneficiaries, especially who has at least 5 persons in the family. No income, no stable income, no monthly stable income, and he must be disabled persons and registered in one of those institutions. طبعا أضفت عليه احنا عليه اخترنا أيضا اللي يكون ذوي إعاقة ويكون ما عندوش مصدر دخل، وعلى الأقل عدد أفراد الأسرة 5 فأكثر.
تمام، هيك قطعت عليه شوط. تمام. وبالإضافة لأنه كان في انخفاض في أسعار السلع، فبالتالي كان في زيادة في عدد الأغراض أو اللي هو محتويات الطرد، كان فيها زيادة لأنه كان في انخفاض في عدد الأسعار المحلية.
Yeah. It's a good opportunity. In the third phase of distribution, the price or the cost of each food parcels has been decreased in the market. So it gives us the opportunity to scale up, to expand the target from around 600 to more than 1,000 people.
تمام. بخصوص مناطق التوزيع، تم اختيار مناطق سهلة الوصول لذوي الإعاقة، وفي بعض الأشخاص من ذوي الإعاقة الحركية، الفريق اللي كان بيشتغل معنا فيهم كان متخصص في التعامل مع ذوي الإعاقة، وتم إيصال بعض من الطرود للي عندهم إعاقة حركية واللي ما قدروا يعني يدخلوا اللي هو مراكز التوزيع أثناء توزيع الطرود الغذائية. يعني كان في تسهيل للوصول بشكل عام ولذوي الإعاقة الحركية بشكل خاص كونه إنه ممكن ما يستطيع إنه يدخل مركز التوزيع.
As you know, the difficult situation of disabled person, so we choose points, distribution points, easy to access for those individuals, added to choose people who are specialized and able to assist those people during receiving the food parcels.
بخصوص التواصل مع المستفيدين، تم توزيع رسائل نصية على الهواتف الخلوية لهم. حددنا لهم ساعة لو الوقت المحدد، تم تحديد الوقت المناسب لاستلام الطرود والساعة الفلانية، وتم توزيع المجموعات بشكل منفصل بحيث انه ما يصير في ازدحام ايضا من ذوي الاعاقة البصرية او من ذوي الاعاقة بشكل عام على مركز التوزيع، عشان تسهيل الوصول لهم وانه ما يصير في تكدس.
We facilitate all the procedures to receive the food parcels among those individuals by contact them with SMS and determine the time to receive these food parcels in order there is no overcrowded during distribution, so everything becomes easier to those individuals during the receiving of the food parcels.
تمام. طبعا النشاط بشكل عام والرسائل والدعوة اللي كانت تقدم للفئة المستهدفة كانت باسم لمنظمة داج، بحيث انه معظم الان اللي هم المستفيدين تم دعوتهم باسم المنظمة. هذه شغلة. وشغلة ثانية كمان، كان الكل راضي عن اللي هم فئتنا المستهدفة، كانوا راضيين كثير عن الأداء وكانوا متشجعين جدا في موضوع الإسلام. يمكن من خلال الفيديو اللي تم عرضه في المرة السابقة وتم نشره على مجموعة الجروب، نستوحي قديش كان في عندهم سرور أو سعادة من هذه المساعدة اللي بتقدمها الداج لهم في ظل الظروف الموجودة حاليا.
All the distribution activities has been implemented under DAG umbrella, and we get a positive feedback from those individuals. They are very satisfied for this distribution, and they said that those food parcels are very benefited for them, especially during this difficult situation in Gaza. As you know, most of them has no income. Most of them lives in very difficult situation in tents. So any assistance, any aid is important for them. Yeah.
واخر شغله انه احنا على تواصل دائم مع فئه ذوي الاعاقه بشكل عام وذوي الاعاقه البصريه على وجه التحديد. دائما احنا على تواصل دائم معهم بطريقه التواصل الاجتماعي، سواء كان الواتساب او صفحه الفيسبوك الخاصه فينا، ودائما احنا بنحاول انه نحدد احتياجاتهم بشكل دائم، وان شاء الله ربنا يوفقنا جميعا. واحنا بنشكر طبعا منظمه الداج لهذه المساعدات اللي بتقدم لذوي الاعاقه البصريه وذوي الاعاقه بشكل عام في غزه.
We are always in touch with those individuals, and we have a WhatsApp group gather most of the visually impaired persons in Gaza added to other disabled persons, and we always try to cover their needs and determine their needs and cover these needs as much as we can. Yeah. Thanks very much for their assistance, for their support during the past 3 phases. Thanks a lot, Dr. Natalia. تمام هيك علي؟
شكرا يا علي ورامي. This is the video from the last distribution that you did last week, so I'm gonna share it with everyone. This was the work of Ali and Rami for the group of visual disability and mobility disability. They distributed food parcels on 1,025 families last week. Ali is there.
نشكر الأطباء ضد الإبادة على جهودهم المتواصلة للمعاقين. شكرا لهم، بارك الله فيكم.
شكر لكم وبارك الله فيكم ويسامح حسابكم. إن الله يفرج عليكم أحسن من كل شيء. بارك الله فيكم ويطعمكم من الدنيا والدين.
مبادرة جميلة جدا إن إحنا بنحتاج مبادرة مبادرة تقديم فرد إنساني متنوع. بارك الله فيكم يا رب، جزاهم الله خيرا.
أشكر الأطباء ضد الإبادة على المساعدة اللي إجت في وقتها.
نشكر منظمة أطباء ضد الإبادة على جهودهم في مساعدة الشعب الفلسطيني، ونأمل منهم الاستمرارية في هذا الدعم السخي. بارك الله فيكم.
Okay, how to stop sharing now? I was forced to share, but I don't know how to stop it now. Can you do it, Karama, please?
I don't know if I can do it. You have to do it.
Did not stop yet?
1 second.
I have
Yes, I did it.
I have a
Okay, good.
technology disability too.
خلاص, I did it for you.
Thank you, Ali and Rami. It's really a great work, great effort. Ali and Rami and their colleagues actually is one of the most organized groups that we dealt with in the past 2 years. They are super, super qualified, super organized, super effective and impactful. And every time they expand the number of individuals and families that they are helping, and everything goes very well and organized. And actually, they managed to create a digital kind of list of all the impacted families that they need their help, and they are adding more people to that every day and every week. And thank you to our supporters, to everyone who's donating Doctors Against Genocide for making this happen. We really appreciate it. Our people in Gaza and Sudan and Congo, they need your help. And you have been very generous so far, and we encourage and we hope that you continue your support. I know many people, actually many organizations, are feeling that the level of support dropped more than 50% or even worse in certain cases in the last 2 months since October, because everyone thought, oh yes, there is a ceasefire now, aid is going in and people don't need help, which is unfortunately not the case. No significant aid is going in. Low quality food, some low quality foods are going in, but no good quality or nutritious food, and all the other important types of aid, including shelter and winter related supplies and infrastructure. None of this is going in yet, so people still need your help. We need your generosity, especially this holiday season. We have the Thanksgiving coming, we have Christmas coming, and we are enjoying all these holidays here in the West. We need to remember that there are people in Gaza and Palestine, in Congo and Sudan, who are living the worst situations of their life due to our actions, due to our misactions, due to our failures of not having better governments to use our money and our taxes in the right way, instead sending those to fund bombs and weapons to destroy the livelihood of people overseas. So we need your generosity. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Rami, and we'll stay in touch. Karama is gonna also talk more about the other elements of your project. Tfadal, Karam.
Thank you so much. Nidal said almost everything I wanted to say, but the most important part is our colleagues Ali and Rami have been super organized and very academic, and we are actually in the process of putting together a submission for a case series looking into what causes visual impairment in adults and children in the context of armed conflict. There are injuries to the globe, direct injuries, blast injuries, injuries because of shrapnels, injuries because of debris, injuries because of lack of ophthalmologic care. What happens also in Gaza is that even if you have an eye injury that could be treated There is no access to hospitals. There is no access to ophthalmologists. So they have started doing an assessment study. We are hoping to write it up and publish it, contribute to the medical literature related to ophthalmologic injuries during war zones, in particular genocide. What is going on is that the genocide literature, medical literature is very lacking. There is not much written about it. And we are positioned in a good spot to actually build that literature and make it more obvious to every medical professional that preventing genocide is a medical mandate. The other thing that I wanted to say is that we are working with a group of Doctors Against Genocide ophthalmologists who are excellent. And the big vision is to have a virtual clinic so that we can see patients with eye pathologies remotely, provide medical advice, medical care. This will require probably trying to get an ophthalmologic equipment that can be used for telemedicine, but sometimes even with a cell phone, with the iPhone, there is a function where you can take very good pictures of the orbit and even inside the eye, the retina and the virtual space, and actually be able to diagnose and treat. Our goal is, because of the lack of opportunities to rebuild the health system very quickly, we try to do what we can, and we try to be innovative, creative, and efficient. And when we have people with us like Rami and Ali who are extremely organized and extremely capable, it makes our job so much easier as supporters and as Doctors Against Genocide members. So the idea is to start a clinic, a virtual clinic, to see these patients, give them support, give them medical advice as much as possible. And the more ambitious vision is, and this is something that Ali and Rami shared, is to have a visual rehabilitation center for patients with visual disabilities in Gaza that has very high standards of care. For all that, we need a lot of funds. I know we have been asking a lot, but it's really the difference between somebody having vision and having no vision, somebody having eyeglasses and having no eyeglasses, somebody having a meal or not, and somebody having a shelter that is dry and warm or being in the rain and the elements. So we are asking for everyone who is capable, who can spare some funds to help those in need. And unfortunately, the need is vast, and as much as we can get is not enough. But that should not stop us from trying as our hardest to help those who have been unfortunately affected by this genocide for no fault of their own, other than we cannot control our elected officials and we cannot make them do the right things. So this is an appeal for all of us to try our best. We at Doctors Against Genocide, we are an organization that does three things. We do education, we do advocacy, and we do aid based on humanitarian principles. So every one of us is committed to all of these three things, and together we can, just like Obama says. So thank you so much. Okay, never mind. Nidal's shaking his head like, no.
No, we don't want any advice from Obama, okay?
Okay.
Together we should, okay?
Together we should.
Yes, weak people like Obama are the reason why we are here. So no, he's not a role model. He is despicable.
I take it back.
Yes, no, don't make me angry, please. Yes. Yeah, thank you, Karama, and thank you, everyone. I'm really excited about this vision of building and starting center for disability that can provide rehabilitation and service for persons with disability, all types of disability, visual, mobility, and all these things. And I think slowly but surely we're heading that way. And Ali and Rami and our colleagues, we have doctors, ophthalmologists, everyone is joining to try to make this happen. So again, as Karama mentioned, please, we need your help. We know we ask a lot, we've been pushing a lot, but unfortunately the need is huge. And now we're gonna go with
Nidal, before we end, while we have Rami and Ali, there's a question about where exactly the distribution sites are for the patients with visual disability. Can you tell us, Ali and Rami, the exact place where you guys are doing the work?
Yeah, the distribution points are three areas in Gaza City, the center of Gaza City, the middle area, and the south area, which those points are easy to access for the disabled person in general and for the visually impaired person specifically, correctly. In Gaza City, in the center of Gaza City, in Deir al-Balah and Khan Yunis, yeah.
Okay, so the three location, Gaza City, Deir Balah, and Khan Yunis.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rami. Stay safe and keep it up. You're doing great work. God protect you. Allah yahmikum. And now we move
Sorry, Nidal.
Yeah.
Very quick. Another question is everybody thinks that the ceasefire is effective, and where do we get the news that is not effective? So we, fortunately, at Doctors Against Genocide have our people on the ground where we can actually hear from them, but we also tune into the Palestinian sources of news. It's actually everywhere. It's just that the news about Gaza is very buried. Only a week ago, 30 people were killed in Gaza. And yesterday or the day before, 5 people were killed in Gaza. Lebanon continues to be also attacked, and martyrs in Lebanon we are still losing people there. So Israel ceasefire is when everyone seizes, but Israel fires. Let's just be very clear about that. There's no ceasefire. The aid is not coming. Only a fraction of the aid is coming, and anything else is smokescreen. And we would have loved it if aid started gushing in and everyone is not killed, and we can say, perfect, things are good. We wish it was the case, but unfortunately it is not.
And to hear more details about this, you're going to hear your answer from Iz and from Dr. Iz and from Dr. Ahmed and from the head of paramedics services in the north of Gaza. I think they are on the ground and each one of them can give you updates on the situation, and that the ceasefire actually is being broken almost every day, that no significant aid is coming in. They will update us on the situation on the ground, situation in the hospital, situation with, I think, Brother Faris spent the whole day yesterday with his ambulances and his team trying to collect pieces of children from the roads after the bombing that Israel did. So you will get your answer soon. So let's go with a Dr. Ez Lulu. We're really proud that Ez joined the family of medicine. He is a doctor against genocide, and he's a doctor despite the genocide. For those who don't know, as he has a long story, when the genocide started, he was a medical student, and he started volunteering in the hospital where he worked, and he was there non-stop trying to help his people, try to help his patients, and at the same time try to continue studying, despite that his school, his university was bombed. All universities have been bombed. His family, unfortunately, was bombed, and he lost his family. His father and some of his family are still under the rubble. And despite all of this, and in memory of his family, has insisted to continue and to build a platform to help not just himself, but all medical students in Gaza. We have been working with Iz for the last few months. We are proud of our partnership and we are happy to have Iz here. Please, Iz, ahla wa sahla, and share with us any updates about your work and what's the situation in Gaza now. Again, alf mabruk and alhamdulillah al salami. Unfortunately, Iz also has some health issues due to the genocide and the fact that the hospitals have been bombed in Gaza and not able to provide care. He's been having complications from this. So we pray for Iz, inshallah, his health will be good and he will continue to be an inspiration for all of us. أهلين عز تفضل.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Again Genocide, for inviting me again. And thank you, Dr. Nidal. It's Azidin Lulo, a newly graduated doctor, as Habibna Dr. Nidal said, and the founder and CEO of Samir Foundation. Today, I want to focus on 3 points, the current medical education, the daily reality people are living in, and why continued coordination and support through Doctors Against Genocide is essential. Gaza's health system has moved far past the point of crisis, and we are functioning with the minimum of what medical system needs to survive. Over 92% of hospitals are non-functional, and in some areas, there is one doctor for every 5 to 8,000 people. Severe shortages of anesthesia, antibiotics, surgical supplies, IV fluids, burn dressings, operating rooms working at more than 10 times their capacity, thousands of injured patients with no access to surgery or follow care, and patient evacuation is almost impossible. And on top of all this, we deal with constant pressures and attacks. Just yesterday, I was at a Chifa hospital for pre-operative tests for a surgery I'm supposed to have on Wednesday to remove the double G stent. And minutes after I left the area, a car only a few meters away from where I was standing was bombed. And I think there was 5 civilians killed with one airstrike. And this is the reality here. You can go for medical tests and not make it back home. And one thing people outside Gaza often don't understand is that displacement has not stopped. But right now, people are not only fleeing because of airstrikes, they are fleeing because of the rain. Winter storms are destroying tents, flooding shelters, and pushing families to move again and again. People who have already been displaced 4 or 5 times are now evacuating because their tents literally collapse under the water. And it's not only tents, even apartments are no longer safe. I'm joining you today from the apartment of my martyred brother, but even here, water leaks through cracks in the ceiling. Half of the building that what I'm living now is destroyed, and the structure is really unsafe, but there is nowhere else to go. This is how people are living under bombardment, under rain, under buildings that may collapse at any moment. And this actually directly affects healthcare system because no medical system can function when people don't even have a safe place to sleep. And Gaza is facing famine level conditions in several areas across Gaza Strip. Families surviving on extremely limited food, not because there is no food, but because the high expensive, the cost of the food, and saving drinking water, students and volunteers working while cold, while sick, enter neighborhoods unable to access basic supplies. At the Samir Foundation recently, with the generous donation from Michigan and with partnership of Doctors Against Genocide, we distributed 500 winter clinics to medical students and their families. Many of them are literally sleeping on sand inside leaking tents. Humanitarian support, food, water, shelter is now an essential as a medical aid. It's similar important, is now as essential as medical aid. And why DAG's role matters. DAG's presence and support have become a critical lifeline for Gaza. Medical supplies that cannot be found locally, hot meals, vegetables, and water for families, support for medical workers still on the front lines, reliable partnerships with local teams, and the international platform to speak truth about what's happening here in Gaza Strip. There is no way to keep the healthcare system alive without coordination between organizations like Dr. Against Genocide, local foundations, and grassroots volunteers. The needs now include surgical supplies, burn and wound care materials, antibiotics, warm clothing and blankets, nutrition support, clean water, transportations for patients, support for medical students and volunteers and their families. And finally, despite everything, despite the siege, despite the bombardment, the attacks, and the displacement, we still graduated a generation of students, of medical students who studied in tents, in hospitals, under bombardment, without electricity, and we still made it. Not because life is easy, but because Gaza refuses to give up. And finally, thank you to Doctors Against Genocide for your consistency. Thank you to everyone attending, and thank you for continuing to stand us, speak for us, and support the work on the ground. And your solidarity is not symbolic, it keeps people alive. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Izz. وألف مبروك. We are so proud of you.
Allah يبارك فيك.
With people like you and students like you, it's no question that Gaza will be back and back even stronger, inshallah.
Ya Rabbi, inshallah.
Thank you, Ez. Proud to see you as always. Do you want to share one of the videos? Because I think you are working on a winter drive to help the medical students and their families. You shared the
last
video with me. Do you want me to share the last video, or you want to share it?
Yeah,
Whatever,
just
any video of your work
just
or our work, please support Ez, support Summer Foundation, and support DAG. Our support, we work together to make sure the funds go to Ez and his students and Summer Foundation in Gaza. تفضل. You can share any video you want.
just 1 minute.
Take your time. We have all the time for Ez and for the people of Gaza, but not for Maribeth Brownlee. Maribeth is a future congresswoman, actually. She's nominating herself.
No, since you mentioned my name, I was messaging with Dania behind the scenes that as really
I'm speaking to you today from Gaza.
Because he doesn't know this, but I have referenced him multiple times as a medical student myself. When people will say, "Oh, Mary Beth, with your children and your husband has his full-time career, and how do you do it? How do you get it all done?" And I'm like, well, you clearly haven't heard of this med student, now doctor, as Lulu. And I'm like, this is no problem here. Like, med students can do big things, and just how motivated I have been by Dr. Lulu.
So, as a medical student yourself, what do you want to say to Ez, who just graduated and who has been helping more than 800 medical students, despite the genocide, despite losing his family? He's been helping more than 800 medical students and their families in the last 2 years.
Words would fall short.
Yeah.
If I tried.
I
don't speak enough Arabic to reach the depth I would need to express how inspired I have been, how much I appreciate him. Also, it really puts into contrast to in American medical schools, like your first year, your second year, you're preparing for boards, and they sent around this email of send your med student while they're studying a care package. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're sitting still and studying. Why do you want to teach these American med students that that's actually hard? It's not.
So we always thought going to medical school is hard. until you imagine yourself being Izzululu or one of his colleagues. Then you know what hard really means. So تفضل عز, share with us.
Yeah.
This is the project that you just launched, yeah?
Yeah, just 2 days ago.
تفضل, yeah, you can share it, please.
I'm speaking to you today from Gaza, where winter has already begun. And for the many people living in tents and broken shelters, the cold is unforgiving. Many of our medical students live in tents, studying under candlelight or none at all. Yet they persevere through the night that is now colder than ever. This week, Samir Foundation is launching a new project to support them. We'll be distributing 500 winter blankets to medical students across Gaza Strip, helping them stay warm, healthy, and able to continue their journey to become doctors we need. As always, your support is what makes this possible. So thank you once again for standing with Gaza's future doctors.
Thank you, Ed. So Samir Foundation is the organization that is started, and Samir is his father's name in memory of his dad. So thank you, Ed, for this hard work. Please donate to Samir Foundation or donate to DAG and put a note that you want this to go to Ed and to Samir Foundation. Samir Foundation is still a local group in Gaza. They still have little problem of getting their funds or donations into Gaza. So we at DAG are helping them with this. So if you want to donate to Samir Foundation, you can donate to DAG and put a note that you want this to go to Iz and to Samir Foundation, the medical student. Put a note there, and we will make sure that this goes to this campaign. And if you want to donate for the general DAG work, you can just donate in any of our links. If you want to donate to the disability group, you can donate to the disability group or put a note that you want these funds to go to the disability group. We try to honor, your priorities or your preferences. So any donations is welcome, and you can also suggest to us which campaign, which part of these campaigns that we have you want the donations to go to, and we'll try to honor this as much as we can, knowing that we're all trying to work and to do all this work during an active genocide. So it's not going to be perfect, but we're trying all what we can.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone from our panelists here have any questions for Iz, or do you have any questions for Iz from anywhere from the group? No?
I actually do. Assalamu alaikum, Az. I've known Az for a while through a doctor here in Chicago. So he and I message on and off. But I wanted to ask for the medical students who have now graduated and completed their studies, are they doing an official internship? يعني سنة الامتياز
Yeah.
موجودة?
Yeah, inshallah, we'll start it in 2 weeks, inshallah, in December. But there is actually some of the medical student, they couldn't pay the cost of last year. They will not kind of start the internship. Yeah, because there is a new policy that that earn it through the Islamic University administration.
Okay, I'll message you. Can you send me the list of names who have outstanding tuition?
Yeah, inshallah, I will send it.
Okay. هلا ببعت لك رسالة.
Yeah, inshallah. Go ahead.
Thank you, Hadil.
And also to add to this, I mean, Ez is trying his best with his organization to cover as many students as they can, but they cannot cover for everyone. So we are getting also some individual asks for help from students who did not meet the criteria of Samir Foundation. So we have been referring them to Ez, and we as DAG are, offering that we will cover For those students, just add them to this group because he has a very, very well organized platform for the medical students. So even if they don't meet the criteria of Standard Foundation, because he had to put some criteria, because I mean, as a small organization, you cannot cover for everyone. So they cover what they can, and if there is any other students that needs help, we as DAG ask us to add them, and we cover for that ourselves. But again, we are all in this together. It doesn't matter who covers what, but as long as the work gets done, as long as we can help more people, that's great. And guys, Iz, do you have anything, any last thing you want to say? All good?
No, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Iz. We're proud of you. Keep it up. You're a doctor despite genocide and a doctor against genocide, and you're an inspiration for so many. And guys, today we have two Farras in the house. Two Farras in the house. Farras against genocide. So Dr. Muhammad Al Farra and Ahmed Al Farra. Is your dad there, Muhammad?
Assalamu alaikum. No, he's not actually. I'm speaking on behalf of my father right now.
Yeah. Yes. Hello, Salah. Can you just wait a minute? So it's either you or Munder gonna go
Yeah, that's
first.
fine.
It's
That's fine.
Munder, are you there, Munder? He's not with us. Munder.
Okay, it seems
I
like
think
Mundir is eating the chicken wings right now, so
I
he's not
think
busy.
so, yeah.
He's not free.
So that's what Munder reminds you of, huh? The chicken wings. We have okay. Go ahead. Since we start with you, Muhammad, go ahead. What do you want to share with us? The situation on the ground. People are asking, is there a ceasefire? Is it active? Is it
No.
real?
Nope. Nope.
Is
Nope.
aid getting in? Are people happy now? Everyone is enjoying, the best day of their lives. Well, what's the situation on the ground?
Oh my God, a lot of questions, and it seems like obviously the answers is just no, but we can explain about this. Well, assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope that Dr. Nidal, Dr. Every one of you just doing great. Dr. Iman, it's been a long time no see, so it's really nice to see you here. That's one thing. So my father has an examination tomorrow. It's the Palestinian board. So he's now studying. He couldn't make it, so he's sending his apologizes. So I'm speaking on behalf of my father today. He told me that okay, just go ahead and join and speak about the things in the Gaza Strip. So that's what we are doing right now. Okay, winter is now coming, and we can still see the people are suffering in their tents. That you can imagine living in a tent in the winter. So the people are literally swimming in their tents. Personally, I was living in a tent, and I have expressed, like, I have lived these conditions, and I saw how people are still suffering in their tents. You are asleep, and suddenly, when it's really cold, you can't handle the cold, even though you are just wearing a heavy clothes and so on, coats or whatever it is. Still, the cold is not the main problem. The water, which is getting inside of your tents out of your control, it is the biggest problems in the tents right now. It's so cold, winter is coming, and obviously it's the endless suffering now. The suffering begins right now because winter is now coming. So, well, speaking about the ceasefire, unfortunately, we all know that it is just the ceasefire, as Dr. Karama said, it is just Israel. Israel say that it's a ceasefire and everybody can see this, but unfortunately, it is not, because I have lost one of my friends 4 days ago. One of my friends, he was studying at the same class with me. He's Muhammad. We lost Muhammad 4 days ago. I'm not gonna speak about being beheaded or not, because obviously we all know that no Palestinians can be killed without being beheaded, or you have to lose some of their pieces. We lost Muhammad 4 days ago. We all know that the ceasefire is now. It's so fake, but we know that Israel is saying that okay, we have a ceasefire, but no, it is not. We can still hear about we can still hear the bombings in Khan Yunis, especially in downtown, where I live right now. Everyone is suffering, and we are still doing our best to give the people winter coats. We are still trying to give the people tents. We have a project of tents, inshallah, tomorrow or tomorrow's. I think the day, inshallah, it's going to be after tomorrow. So we are still giving the people tents. We need to get the plastic covers and the tents and the blankets. You know, the numbers of people is so huge. You can't cover 10% of the people's needs. So it will end up with you. You know, we are as an organization. Okay, we are now a registered organization in the UK. Even though we can't cover the people needs, like millions, like thousands of people. I'm not gonna overstate anything. So thousands of people are reaching out to us, asking. They are sending emails actually, and those are the people who has mobile phones. Some people doesn't have anything. So they are sending emails asking about an urgent help because they are drowning in their tents. Unfortunately, you can't give everyone a tent. So we went to every one of them, every one of these people. We saw their tent. Okay, I said, okay, as a founder of the organization, I need to arrange the priorities. So I need to know who really need that tent or who can solve his problem with the plastic cover. So we bought a lot of plastic covers. It can replace the tents. You know, like we are speaking about the cheapest things. Like it's literally you're living in the street, you are being like you have two choices. One of them is the tent and the other is the plastic cover. So خيارين أحلاهما مر. The both choices are the best of them is so bad, unfortunately. So alhamdulillah, we were able to found some tents. We found also some blankets and plastic covers. We are trying to give people. Meanwhile, the endless suffering is still there, but the education is still running. Like I can see, wallahi, I can see we like, okay, I'm not just, this is not a compliment, but we as Gazans, we as Palestinians, we will never give up because I can see, I mean, my sister, she has just graduated from the high school and now she has applied for medicines faculty in the Islamic University in Gaza. She is studying medicine right now. My father, he has his examination tomorrow. So still, we are suffering. Yes, I mean, no complaining. Alhamdulillah, we won't complain. But we are still learning. We are still like, we will always keep going with these things, you know? What can I say? I mean, it's just suffering, and we are still trying to keep going. We were still trying to help our people, you know? So everybody is speaking about the stage 2 of the ceasefire now. I mean, we think that Israel will announce about the stage 2 of the ceasefire within the next 2 or 3 days. I'm not sure about these news because I have heard many times from the people that they will announce the Rafah borders will be opened, you know, soon, so the people will be able to get back from Egypt. They will go outside. They will be referred to have the health care and so on. So this is one thing. Hopefully we can just go to the second stage of the ceasefire, inshallah, agreement in the next few days. Wallahi, it is still hard. I mean, you know, when I saw the big amounts of people, the big numbers of people, they are all asking for tents and help. And me as an organization and many people as me working in the same field, we couldn't help them and we can't help them.
Muhammad, what's your organization name, please? Let people hear.
It's United for Gaza.
Yes.
Yeah, it's based in the UK right now. So we couldn't help them. So I came up with a new idea, which is I think it is going to be great and it's worthless. I mean, no, it's not. It's worth it. You know, that's what I can say. I decided I said, okay, now I have some people who can donate. We can raise $50,000 US. We can raise $100,000 US. But it is so useless because we can spend this money in a day. We can buy like 10 water trucks. We can buy 100 tents. We can buy food, and we can just spend all of this money. So I decided to start in new businesses in different areas in Khan Yunis or in Gaza Strip in general. So we have the first place now. We are just making, okay, let's just get this straight. We have a place. We need to open a business. It is gonna feed 7 families who are literally living without any source of income. And even we will distribute 50 up to 100 meals every day. So if you want to donate, you won't donate for just 1 water truck or 2 water trucks, and it will just end and you will need to donate again. No. This is in the past. That was past. Today, we have a new idea, which is, I think it is so great. We are making a new campaign. Inshallah, it is going to be ready by the next week. We have studied everything at the market. We will inshallah open a new restaurant, and it is gonna there will be 7 employees in this place. They will take salaries, they will live and give their family some money, and we will inshallah distribute 50 or 100 meals every day. And it's it's business, half business and half aid project. So this is gonna be so worth it. I believe if I can raise this money and we can open more projects, more business projects, then it's gonna be sadaqa jariyah, it's gonna be continuous. It will never stop. So I think yes, that's it. If we can, I mean, if everyone can do this,
people, not just give them a one-time aid, one-time thing.
Exactly.
As they say,
exactly.
do not give him a fish, teach him how.
Yes.
So this is the way, which is actually, inshallah, if the ceasefire holds and they go stage 2, that should be, the way how things goes. But again, I mean, let's hope that that's the direction of things, and that actually depends on everyone here keeping the pressure on their government elected officials to make sure the ceasefire lasts. It's respected, and we go to stage 2. That's already 6 weeks late, and as Muhammad said, all the help that we are giving or trying to do as small organizations, whether it's DAG or United for Gaza or is a drop in the bucket, because the need is for 2 million people, and you really need major organizations to go in. You need the aid to be on a governmental level and multiple governments, because this crime has been committed by the whole world, and the whole world and its governments and institutions, and including the UN, should be responsible to fix it. But until we get this, until the real aid from major organization gets in, we cannot just sit around, us and Muhammad and Dr. David and Mary, Martha, and watch people starving to death, or watch people freeze from the cold, or have no medicine at all or something. So we're going to try to continue to do all what we can, fully knowing that this is not enough. But even if it's helping one person, one family, one child, one elderly, one mother, one tent, one meal, anything's better than nothing, while we're keeping pressure on our people, governments, and elected officials to do the right thing. So yeah, this is a great idea of creating
Wallah,
small
my friend is
businesses.
just telling me always, this, you need to make this money running. Like, this money can get more money, you can spend more, you can make more projects. You need to spend this money in the right way. For me, as a business brain, I can just go spend $100 for 1 water truck. I prefer to spend this $100 to make $1,000 and to make 10 water trucks. You know what I mean? That's one thing. Wallahi, Dr. Nidal, I think the stage 2 is just, it's going to be all fake, because I think we will live as Lebanese. Like, in Lebanon, the situation is still catastrophic. After, Hezbollah has given up its weapons and, said, okay, now we won't fight and so on. The Israeli occupation is still making war crimes in Lebanon. So I think we are living now the same thing. So yesterday, I have bought a solar system. It costed me a lot of money, but I was never, I haven't thought about this twice, because you need to, you have to take the risk, because I think the war will never stop. It will never stop. The occupation will always, like the situation in West Bank. They are not fighting, but they are still having a war crimes. So I think we will never just sit down and waiting for the ceasefire to keep going as it's supposed to be. No, that's not who we are. We need to keep going. We need to run the projects, the aid projects. We need to study, to keep learning, and so on. So I think the stage one, the stage two, even the stage 100, it's just gonna be fake. We will always have the war, the genocide, and that's unfortunate. I will never normalize this, as you always said, Dr. Nadal. I will never normalize it, but this is the unfortunate truth. If Palestine is not free, we will always suffer, and that's one thing. Even like it's just like one thing. Even, I mean, either the Israeli occupation or Palestinians. Those two cannot be in the same land because, you know, it will never be a ceasefire. You know what I mean? So, alhamdulillah, we can still hear the bombings. We can still hear the military tanks. You know, every day at like around 12 a.m., 1 a.m., I can hear the military tanks. Like they are just like 1 kilometer far away from me. So you can always hear the military tanks, you know. I was never thinking that the Israeli occupation will ever enter Gaza Strip and they will live next to us or 100 or even a kilo or 2 kilometers away from us. But that's the truth. And, you know, the world is still silent about this. You will always hear the silence of the world. So that's the unfortunate truth. But, you know, Dr. Nadal, we will just keep going. We will never think twice before we will done any helpful project for the people, for displaced families in the Gaza Strip. So I will never sit down watching and still waiting for the ceasefire to begin. And this is who we are, you know.
This is who we are. Gaza is freeing all of us, and Gaza is teaching all of us how to continue to improvise, to be resilient, to be strong, and keep fighting, doing all what you can despite everything else. So, Muhammad, thank you. Help
Yeah,
Muhammad, donate
thank you
for
so
Muhammad.
much.
Donate for United for Gaza. He's a troublemaker, I know.
Wallahi, I love
And he
Dr. Nadal.
is he's a flirt also. I don't know where he's getting this from. But donate for Muhammad, United for Gaza, donate to DAG and put a note that you want this to go to Muhammad. His idea of small projects is a great idea. So please, any help
Wallahi,
is
Dr. Nadal,
important.
Wallahi, it's a pleasure. I'm in love with this community because it can connect people. Like, okay, we know Ez, we know Rami, and what was the guy name? Rami
Nabil.
and
Ali.
Nabi. Yes, you
Ali,
know,
Ali. I keep saying
Ali,
Nabil.
Ali. Yes, Ali, Rami, وعز. Wallah, I can see everyone from Gaza, he wants to help his people.
I have an idea. You made me remember. I want you and Monder and Iyad to go visit Ali and Rami and take even your dad if you can. Go, all of you. They are in Gaza. Visit them. Take a group picture or a small video and share it with us at one time.
Wallah, I'm down. Wallah, I'm
Good?
down. I can do this.
I am very ready. I'm ready. I can go today, tomorrow
As
even.
long
تمام
Monder,
دكتور
as
نضال
long
خلاص
as we have
100%
as
جاهزين
long
جاهزين
as we have as long as we have the chicken wings, everything is gonna be okay.
أهم شيء.
Okay.
That's
بس
it.
اسمع.
No big deal.
Oh my God.
chicken wings. Okay, good job. Okay, so منذر بعرف انك لك فتره بتستنى وياد. اهلا وسهلا. ويلكم both of you.
أهلا بكم أهلا بكم.
بس خليني
تمام
معلش
أهلا وسهلا.
بعتذر منكم. I have to try to get from Abu Hamza first because his internet is bad. He might lose it any minute. If we can hear
No
from
worries.
Abu Hamza, are you there? Then I'll come back to you, Mundir and Iyad, and not talking about chicken
Inshallah.
wings today. That's enough. Abu Hamza, are you there? Abu Hamza, I think his connection is okay.
السلام عليكم. السلام
اهلا
عليكم.
وسهلا. اهلا ابو حمزه. يس اهلين. So Abu
حياكم الله.
Hamza,
سلامات.
yeah, he came under my name because he has a bad connection. But Abu Hamza is the head of emergency services paramedic in the north of Gaza. He was actually at running the emergency service at Kamal Udwan when Dr. Abu Sofia was targeted and abducted last year, and the whole hospital has been destroyed. So Abu Hamza is helping us build a health center, a medical point in the north of Gaza, north of Jabalia camp. And also he's gonna also help us with the other project of rebuilding Kamal Udwan that we promised, that we promised Dr. Abu Safiya that before his anniversary of the abduction and the destruction of the hospital, inshallah, we will build it back and make it running at least a small emergency room. So تفضل Abu Hamza, share with us the updates on your project. سامعني أبو حمزة؟ I know he has a bad connection but
السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم، سامعني دكتور؟
يا سامعك، تفضل. يس.
ممكن تعيد السؤال عشان النت ضعيف جدا عندنا والله، معلش يا دكتور.
ابديت اعطينا شو اخر الشغل عندك، كيف الوضع؟ what's happening yesterday؟ انت امبارح كان عندكم bad day. Yesterday you had a bad day and there was a lot of bombing and a lot of casualties, so I think you spent the whole day yesterday trying to save people, take them to the hospital. امبارح كان في قصف عندكم؟ كان في الامبولانس شغال ولا what happened yesterday؟
صحيح يا دكتور، أول حاجة الله يمسك بالخير أنت وجميع الأطباء، الضيوف وزملائي في غزة، حياهم الله. كنتوا تباركوا لعز، احنا نقول له ألف مبارك. أنا ما بعرفش ليش بتباركوا له، لكن ألف مبارك لأخونا عز.
اتخرج
وحياكم الله زملائي
كلية
من
الطب.
غزة. ما شاء الله ما شاء الله، ألف ألف مبارك، ألف مبارك عز.
الله يخليك يا ابو حمزه.
طبعا دكتور احنا يعني بنعيش الله يخليك، الله يبارك فيك. طبعا يا دكتور احنا بنعيش يعني ما يسمى بوقف اطلاق النار، لكن للاسف الشديد الاحتلال الاسرائيلي يبطش ويطلق ويقتل وقت ما شاء. لا يوجد هناك ضامن لوقف اطلاق النار حقيقي في مدينة غزة. بالأمس يعني تحركت مركبات الإسعاف المتهالكة إلى أكثر من استهداف. تم استهداف مركبة في منطقة العباس، وتم استهداف شقة في منطقة اللبابيدي، وتم استهداف أكثر من نقطة في شمال قطاع غزة ومدينة غزة، وأيضا في وسط وجنوب قطاع غزة. في كل خرق للتهدئة يتم استشهاد لا يقل عن 30 ل 40 شهيد، وغالبية الشهداء من الأطفال والنساء، لأنه يتم استهداف المنازل المأهولة بالسكان، المأهولة بالمدنيين. كان يعني صراحة يعني يوم صعب من أيام خرق للتهدئة. وكما تحدثنا دكتور نضال، لا يوجد ضامن لهذه التهدئة في مدينة غزة. للأسف الشديد الاحتلال يختلق
خليني
الذرائع.
ابو حمزه، خليني بس اترجم اللي حكيته. So Abu Hamza is sharing that there is no real ceasefire. Israel is breaking the ceasefire every day. Yesterday was one of the bad days where Israel bombed almost in every area in Gaza. There was about 20, more than 24 people who have been murdered yesterday, and multiple more injured. And we know that many of the injuries are really, really severe injuries, that most of them are going to end up dying because of the lack of healthcare, lack of hospitals in Gaza. And Abu Hamza is sharing that most of these fatalities and injuries are actually children and civilians. And you know, they in Gaza, they do not trust the ceasefire, they do not trust Israel, and they don't feel there is any real global or international will to hold Israel accountable and to pressure for a real ceasefire. تفضل أبو حمزة.
طيب دكتور، والكلام لجميع الإخوة الأفاضل الضيوف معنا. يعني احنا بنحاول نخفف من معاناة أبناء الشعب الفلسطيني شمال، خاصة شمال قطاع غزة المنكوب. لكن في الخروقات هذه التهدئة هناك خوف كبير. يعني المركز الصحي أو النقطة الطبية التي يتم إنشاؤها شمال غزة، هذه للمرة الثالثة يتم إنشائها. المرة الأولى تم تجريفها من قبل الاحتلال الإسرائيلي، والمرة الثانية تم تدميرها. فمع عودة الخروقات هذه هناك خوف كبير صراحة من إنشاء مراكز طبية. ولكن نحن سنستمر يعني في تقديم هذه الخدمة من أجل التخفيف من معاناة المصابين. هناك الآلاف من المصابين بحاجة إلى متابعة وغيارات، خاصة كما تحدثت في ظل يعني انعدام المواصلات في مدينة غزة وصعوبة تنقل الجرحى والمصابين في مدينة غزة. هناك أيضا أفكار يتم يعني عملها حتى نستطيع الوصول إلى الجرحى في منطقة بيت لاهيا. منطقة بيت لاهيا تعد منطقة آنية جدا وبعيدة جدا عن الحياة في مدينة غزة. لا يوجد مواصلات. هناك عدد لا بأس به من المصابين تم عودتهم إلى منطقة بيت لاهيا. وكما يعلم الجميع شمال قطاع غزة بلا مستشفيات، لا يوجد مستشفى في شمال قطاع غزة، لا الأندونيسي ولا العودة ولا كمال العدوان. ممكن أترجم دكتور؟
Yes, خلينا نترجم. So Abu Hamza is saying that despite the fact
دكتور
that
نضال؟
يا خلينا نترجم. أنا بترجم هلا، سامعني؟
دكتور نضال
Yes,
سامعني؟
I hear you. Yes, I'm going to translate what you said, Abu Hamza. So Abu Hamza is saying that despite that Israel destroys many of the work that the people in Gaza try to do, whenever they try to rebuild a hospital or a medical point, many times they destroy it over and over again. Despite this, the people of Gaza are intent on always trying to rebuild, to recover, to come back and do what they can, even if there's a chance that Israel is going to bomb it or destroy it. But again, what is the other option? He's also suggesting that there are still many areas in Gaza that has no healthcare or no access to healthcare at all, especially in the north. All the three hospitals in North Gaza, which is Kamal Udwan and Al-Indonesi and Al-Auda, all three hospitals have been shut down. Two of them, which is Al-Indonesi and the other one actually are in the area that Israel still controls, so there is no access to it. The only one is in the yellow area, is Kamal Udwan, and it's really very close to the yellow line, so it's very risky, but it's still not functioning now. We're trying to actually work with the group there, the doctors, to rebuild it. So he's saying that those areas have no access to healthcare at all, especially remote areas in north of Gaza, Beit Lahia. Beit Lahia is where Monder is. So Monder, for the first time, he
That's
feels
my village.
justified. He feels justified for the first time. He always says, "I am racist to Beit Lahia because Beit Lahia never gets any care and it's very
No
remote."
one.
So we just heard now that there are people who care about Beit Lahia. It was not just you, Amander. So Abu Hamza is saying that Beit Lahia, many people did go back to Beit Lahia, but they have no access to care at all. Many of them are wounded, they have chronic wounds and chronic health illnesses, and they need help. And actually, Abu Hamza, I was talking to him yesterday and the day before about starting a mobile small team. Maisa, if you can mute yourself, please, Maisa. A small team of nurses, maybe a doctor to go there for wound changes, basic medical services to go to Beit Lahia to provide for these in the beginning until things hopefully calm down and they can build an established center there. But for now, the idea of having mobile medical services, small wound clinics, health checkups is a great idea. Abu Hamza, are you still there?
تمام. أنا بدنا جهود. أبو رضا معنا حبيبنا، كيف حالك أبو رضا؟
أي أبو رضا؟ أبو حمزة
طيب
تفضل.
تمام حياك الله. طبعا يا دكتور كما ان شاء الله تحدثنا، يعني ان شاء الله رب العالمين مستمرين ان شاء الله في تقديم هذه الخدمة، ان كان على مستوى خدمة الإسعاف الطوارئ وخدمة النقاط الطبية، حتى يتم يعني عودة مجمع كمال عدوان الطبي على الأقل للعمل، لأنه مجمع كمال عدوان الطبي يقع في منطقة خطيرة جدا. يعني كما يعلم الجميع، صحيح هي داخل الخط الأصفر من ناحيتنا، لكن هناك خطورة عالية للوصول إلى مجمع كمال عدوان الطبي. وبالرغم من ذلك هناك يعني ترميمات تجري داخل مجمع كمال عدوان الطبي حتى يتم على الأقل البدء برعاية أولية في داخل مجمع كمال عدوان الطبي، وهذا سيخفف من معاناة أبناء شعبنا خاصة في منطقة مشروع بيت لاهيا ومنطقة بيت لاهيا. وهذا سيخفف أيضا من النقاط الطبية التي صراحة يعني تشكو من قلة المستلزمات الطبية. يعني عندما نقوم بفتح نقطة طبية لا يتوفر للأسف الشديد أقل وأبسط الأمور موضوع الغيارات والشاش. هناك صعوبة جدا للحصول في الوقت الحالي في غزة على هذه المستلزمات الطبية. وصراحة بنسمع كلام كثير من الناس على هذا الموضوع. طبعا الناس ما والجريح والناس ما بتتفهم انه ما في مستلزمات طبية، ما في شاش، ما في رباط ضغط بهمها يعني، وهذا حقها الطبيعي. المصاب والجريح والمريض يتلقى العلاج والغيرات بكرامة وبإنسانية لهؤلاء الجرحى الذين يعني أصيبوا خلال العدوان الإسرائيلي على قطاع غزة. لذلك يعني نحن لا نستطيع تجميل الصورة في قطاع غزة. الوضع مأساوي والوضع كارثي بكل ما تعنيه الكلمة. يعني أنا لحد هذه اللحظة لم أسمع أنه لحتى الآن تم دخول يعني أعداد كافية أو أعداد من الشاحنات من المستلزمات الطبية. يعني بعض الأحيان دكتور نضال يتم أخذ بعض المستلزمات الطبية من داخل مركبة الإسعاف حتى يتم عمل غيار للجرحى الذين يتوافدون على النقاط الطبية بسبب عدم توفر هذه الغيارات، الشاش والرباط الضاغط. والزملاء في غزة يعني يتفهموا ماذا أتحدث عن هذه المعاناة التي لحد هذه اللحظة لا يوجد نهاية لهذه المعاناة للجرحى والمصابين، وأيضا تنقل المرضى ما بين المستشفيات وخاصة من عادوا إلى شمال قطاع غزة. الوضع بكل ما تعنيها الكلمة دكتور، الوضع صعب ومأساوي وقاسي جدا على جرحانا، على مرضانا في شمال قطاع غزة. الحياة شبه معدومة في شمال قطاع غزة، البيوت والمنازل مدمرة. هناك صعوبة أيضا في السير من خلال مركبات الإسعاف عندما نذهب إلى المصابين والحالات. يعني اليومين الفاتوا قبل تقريبا 3 أيام تم نقل بمركبة إسعاف الموجودة اللي حطيناها في مدرسة شادي أبو غزالة في منطقة الفلوجة، تم نقل عدد من المصابين من منطقة العطاطرة أو السلاطين أو القرعة الخامسة. من كواد كابتر تم إطلاق قنبلة على امرأة وأطفالها الثلاثة وتم إصابتهم. هناك صعوبة في التحرك في مركبات الإسعاف في هذه الطرقات المدمرة والبنية التحتية المدمرة. تقريبا شمال قطاع غزة يوميا يتم إطلاق النار على المواطنين من الرافعات والقناصة والطائرات لقوات كابتر تأتي وتقوم بإطلاق القنابل على المواطنين العزل في ذلك المناطق.
ماشي يا أبو حمزة. So Abu Hamza again is saying that situation in Gaza is very bad. There's no services. Israel has turned Gaza into a completely destroyed area, especially when it comes to basic medical services and basic humanitarian services. The people in the north lack all of them. As we mentioned earlier, the 3 hospitals in the north have all been destroyed and have been out of service for the last year. Two of them, Al Auda and Al Indonesi, are still in the area that Israel occupies. The only one on outside or inside the yellow zone that people in Gaza have access to is Al Udwan, but it's very close to the area there, so it is a little bit dangerous, and it hasn't been working, so it needs to be rehabilitated. The situation is even worse that even basic medications and basic wound changes and gauze is lacking in Gaza. People who have chronic injuries, and there are many of them, amputees and chronic injuries, they don't have the the supplies to do the basic wound changes. Not even the hospitals have them. Actually, the Ministry of Health in Gaza issued a warning not yesterday or the day before, along with also Doctors Without Borders and many major organizations, international NGOs in Gaza issued a warning that Gaza is running out of gauze and actually the stocks of gauze and wind changes in Gaza is zero, down to zero at the Ministry of Health, down to zero at Doctors Without Borders, and as our brother Hamza is sharing that many times they have to use whatever left, whatever small piece of gauze they have at the ambulance itself to help people get, a wound change. And he shared with me a few cases actually in Beit Lahi of chronic wounds there, that these wounds are actually getting very bad and infected, and some people are losing their limbs and becoming gangrenous just because they don't have access to basic just wound care that we all take for granted anywhere else for natural injuries. Do not forget that every injury in Gaza is not natural. Every injury is Gaza was man-made, was intentional. It was intentional by genocidal Israel. Genocidal Israel is genocidal because genocidal project started with the genocidal idea from day one for the last 140 years. And it continues to be genocidal, and their genocide continues to get worse because the West allowed this genocide. And they offered them the impunity and the support, and they continue to pay for every bullet, every bomb, every rocket, every tank, every fire jet, every F-35 is paid for by the United States of America, by your taxes. Who's paying for it? You, your taxes. Who's benefiting? Israel. Who else is benefiting? The ones who are making these bombs. So the war mongers, the war profiteers, the manufacturing companies that makes with weapons are making tons of money. This is the best time of their life. They are making billions and billions. And I think Karama shared with us the study last week in Wall Street Journal. Boeing, this lethal company that's making all these lethal weapons, is actually struggling in the United States. They were about to go bankruptcy a year or two ago. But since the war in Ukraine started and the genocide that Israel started 2 years ago, Boeing made more than $19 billion selling weapons to the war in Ukraine and in Israel with your money, my money, to kill and mass slaughter children, mass slaughter babies, mass slaughter mothers, starve babies, make people with wounds go untreated for months and months until they lose their limbs, until they get amputations or get gangrene and die. All of this so that this crime against humanity called Israel, this cancer in the region called Israel thrives, and the elites here who are making billions and billions of these wars continue to make more money, while you and me being willing executioners in this genocide. Unfortunately, the ones who are speaking up at least are unwilling, or we're not consenting to this. But again, we need more of us to speak about this. Anyway, Abu Hamza is actually doing the project now in North Jabalia, the medical point. He finished the dug the well, water well last week, and now he's actually contracting with the people to get the solar panels so they can provide energy for the medical point. I think his plan is to start or to open this medical point or medical center north of Jabalia this coming week. But inshallah, by next week, he can share with us the completed project, functional project. So please support DAG because we are supporting Abu Hamza, we're supporting his team, and we want to also have this mobile wound change team or medical care team that can go to north or far areas in the north that have no access to medical care, so they can provide the basics of wound changes, basic medical care. So please support us so we can support our communities there. I know the connection with Abu Hamza is a little bit hard. Inshallah, we'll hear more from you, Abu Hamza, next week, and we will share more videos once the project is complete. And we have, okay, every time I want to talk to Minder, he disappears.
Nida?
Yes, تفضل يا Minder, are you
Just-
there? Yeah, تفضل.
Yeah, just one quick thing. So, people were asking about big organizations that have so many donations and why don't we work with them? And how do we get funds to Gaza? The answer is we don't know. If they have a lot of money that has been donated to them, they should reach out to us. The way that Doctors Against Genocide is working on the ground is literally by working with people like Iyad, like Rami, like Mr. Afane. We work with the people on the ground, or the people on the ground in Congo. We work with them. We understand what they need, and our job is to identify a way for us to send them money to Gaza. We do not deal with COGAT. We do not deal with borders. We do not deal with like, please let us go. And we also do not deal with, we have to be careful not to say the wrong thing so that COGAT does not let us in. What we do is we have our partners on the ground having their existing networks, existing organizations. We do not pay the middleman either. So we do not have a situation where we send $100 and only $50 comes in. It all goes in 100%.
Actually,
Also,
before you go, thanks to Iyad and Mundir. They are the one who taught me this. They are the
yes.
one who taught me that every dollar you pay there will be used. No middlemen, no commissions, because many times at one point people used to pay 50% of the donation to get
Yeah, we don't do that. And one other thing is,
go ahead, تفضل كرام.
one other thing is that we are 100% volunteers. We all have full-time jobs, believe it or not. I work full-time, Nidal works full-time, Mesa works full-time. All of us are working full-time.
Martha
And
worked double time.
Martha, everyone in DAG, everyone in DAG is like a fully employed human being who is juggling work, family, and also working to end genocide. So I feel that we are very proud of that. We're very proud that we work with our people on the ground. We do not cut corners. We are not there to pay our CEO or our executive or our whatever. We love doing the work that we do. Our reward is really being able to connect with amazing people like Iyad, like Rami, like Dr. Al-Farra, like Muhammad Al-Farra. This is more reward to us than anything else. And that's why we urge you to donate to us. Big organizations that have money in the bank, but they're still waiting for COGAT to let them in. Come work with us, ya Ammi. We are happy
يا
to.
عمي yeah I agree with you يا عمي.
We can tell you what to do.
Yeah, Jamal.
So
if you don't mind, I want Mundir to speak because we have been having him on hold for a long time, and we promised him to speak. But please do not speak about chicken wings, and do not speak about the house.
خلاص لابسين نفس القميص اليوم خلاص ما في مشكلة.
Just talk about you and about Faraj and about Beit Lahia, okay?
اليوم لابسين نفس القميص. We are wearing the same t-shirt. صاحب الكفي الله وكيلك شوية بدي يطردني.
I am in Michigan in the United States of America. I've been wearing the same shirt for the whole week, so that's not.
صاحب الكفي قاعد بطرد فيه مش عارف الله وكيله. يقول له I'm gonna pay more extra. ما أقول له خلاص ما في electricity. That's the worst part, that the electricity will be shut down. So that's the reason why he said to me in a hurry to speak in a hurry.
يلا تفضل.
تفضل.
والله ما عارف ايش بدي اقول. يعني كل الكلام حكوه الشباب. بس انا بدي احكي. I just wanted to say something which is for yesterday was the worst day, starting from the ceasefire day until now. Me and my son Faraj, only 6 years old almost, and now we are the witness of the murder that reached to Al-Shifa Hospital, as I'm staying next to Al-Shifa Hospital, just 2 minutes from where I'm staying at the moment in Gaza City. So I can say that the people who reached, or the murder that reached to Al-Shifa Hospital, small pieces. So that make me actually really, really sorry and I feel really sad about what happened. And most of them are children, actually. 24 people reached the hospital, and that's what is I expected. As I mentioned in the previous webinar last week, I said that Israel will make an excuse that they're gonna bomb, they're gonna return back to war again and again, and that is my expectation for next week. That will be for Lebanon. So I'm not a very good journalist, or I'm just following the media and what is going on in the news. So I believe that this week will be Lebanon, and hopefully no more Gaza, or no more fighting in this world. Actually, we want to achieve the peace. Anyway, the situation in Gaza, it keeps changing. Every minute is different. As my brother mentioned, Al-Farra mentioned, he mentioned that within 24 hours or 48 hours from now, we are expecting to go for the second stage of the ceasefire. So it keeps changing. Hopefully this time, no delay. Hopefully this time they will open Rafah border and will allow people to leave, especially the 20,000 on the queue that need medical support or medical treatment outside Gaza. So that is the situation in general. We are expecting everything, and everything might happen. And no more electricity. خلاص. Anyone can see me? Anyone?
Yes, we see you. Hello.
شكله الكهرباء قطعت عندك من ده.
قطعت بتفضل اياد. Go ahead, and if he came back, we'll give him another opportunity. Iyad
طيب.
will come back. It's all yours now.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم.
First, really يعني I feel happiness with my colleagues, all of you, really sit in our heart, and we feel about your solidarity and your support and continuity. Really, that's a great, Dr. Nidal, and ما شاء الله عليكم جميعا.
Iyad, before you go on, please. They keep asking, Anas Arafat needs insulin. Is there a way to get insulin from Gaza? Is there a way we can help him?
Again, Dr. Nidal?
I have been hearing this question many times in the last few days. One of the people in Gaza, Anas Arafat, he's been doing a lot of good work with providing aid and food, but seems he ran out of insulin. He cannot have, he has not been able to get his insulin treatment. Is there any way to get him insulin in Gaza?
Maybe I will ask. I don't know.
Ask
بس
around.
خلينا
We can ask Dr. Ahmed too if we can help him. So
maybe.
Vida, whoever asked about Anas Arafat, please send us an email. We'll try to ask Iyad and have Iyad ask around, and Dr. Ahmed ask around, see if we can get him at least some supplies of insulin for the time being. So thank you.
Inshallah. So when we talk about ceasefire, is in reality nothing more than deliberate deception. It's a fictional ceasefire whose boundaries and terms are changed periodically. The purpose of the manipulation is to grant the occupation enough flexibility to continue acts of extermination and killing and genocide, and increasing the pressure over the civilians, while providing force justification, something like what happened yesterday, for its action to the international community. This approach allows the continuation of killing, starvation, and obstructions of humanitarian aid, all while creating a misleading impression that the conflict has truly posed. They need, in fact, what's happening is a systematic continuation of oppressive and criminal policies with plans and operations adapted to serve the occupation's objectives without facing direct accountability, and to decrease the national pressure. The current situation is not a genuine ceasefire, but rather maybe a selective shooting and escalation aimed at bypassing European and global media pressure. Dr. Nidal, my colleague, there are a systematic efforts to conceal the ongoing extermination and starvation by delaying and restricting all forms of humanitarian aid, and also re-engineering shadow economy and prolonging suffering. This tactical arrangement does not only aim to buy time, but to compel civilians to gradually and voluntary leave. I mentioned this is a cold exodus without the use of bombs or rockets. It's very important note. I know a lot of information that spread in European journalists talking about voluntary expulsion. It's a big deception. It's a big deception for a Palestinian. When Netanyahu talk before 48 hours, he needs from Egypt to reopen Rafah in one side, in one direction, just go out. By creating unbearable conditions of starvation, denial of essential services, and failure to clear rubble and obstructions of meaningful humanitarian assistance, they need to force us to expel. It's a big deception plan. It's not a ceasefire. The situation in Gaza remains unchanged, with the continued delays in the entry of aid and in arrival of trucks carrying real relief supplies, such as tents, especially winter tents, Dr. Nidal, and tarpaulin and nylon shelters, maybe that provide the protection from the rain. This is a fundamental need that continues to be obstructed by the occupation. Additionally, the reopening of Rafah crossing and the evacuation of the wounded continue to face obstacles. Up to this time, they linked reopening Rafah cross point with the maybe fake clarifications. Despite the ceasefire having been in effect for more than a month, maybe today and yesterday, we're still facing a humanitarian and environmental catastrophe due to heavy bombardment yesterday and complete destruction of infrastructure, including also sewage and waste at every time and everywhere. And also, when we talk, therefore, reopening Rafah crossing and allowing aid to enter without conditions is essential from Egypt's side, especially as the Israeli side continues to open only 1.5 crossings out of the 14 points surrounding the Gaza Strip. This places us on the brink of a disaster that could occur at any moment. Netanyahu's recent statements asking Egypt to help take people out indicate an attempt to forcibly displace the population in a soft manner without bombs or military evacuation or incursions orders that combined earlier phases of the conflict or of the genocide. What's happening now is a recycling of genocide, Dr. Nadal, recycling of the blockade and recycling starvation. People here I know are economically exhausted. Even with the entry of some food supplies, residents can't afford to buy anything to the absence of any stable income. And I will use this moment. Really, we appreciated the donations and donors for the DAG, and they still supporting us. And we have a full cooperation with a lot of camps here to distribute winter clothes within the next 48 hours before the new storm that will come to the hit Gaza. And this is really very helpful, and we need more. I know a lot of special needs here, but we, inshallah, we will decrease this needs by your support, by your solidarity. And people here, even though they're economically exhausted, but we must, it's important to remember that around 50,000 people are unemployed and thousands of civil services employees remain out of work because Israel doesn't allow the government in Gaza or any other alternative local authority to resume providing services or restart the economical cycle. As a result, what can be described as a virtual economy has taken over while prices remain extremely high and fluctuated several times. Nowadays, the inflation prices pass more than 120 times. Within the open genocide, it's passed 3,000 times. So when we talk about inflation in general, atmosphere of uncertainty, instability, and continuous anxiety. Furthermore, from time to time, massive explosions shake what is left of houses and tents. These are part of ongoing destruction operations, targeting what remains of the infrastructure. The eastern and central parts of the strip under the label of completion of operations carried out of the Israeli army. Here we are witnessing a continuation of genocide and tightening of the blockade and at its most severe.
Sorry, I have a colleague.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a colleague from Sudan. He was supposed to join us. He will not join this week. He will join us next week. Iyad, sorry.
Yeah.
I got
Kamil?
distracted. Are you done, Iyad? Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing
Yeah.
this update. Thank you for your work. And regarding the question of the other NGOs, why they're not helping as much in Gaza, first of all, we know Israel is blocking all of them, and the whole world is allowing this to happen and allowing Israel, which is the perpetrator of this genocide, to be the one who decides what aid gets in and how much aid and when. And this is part of the ongoing campaign of genocide, extermination of people, killing them, if not by bombs, killing them by starvation, by infection, by illness, by disease, using weather and winter as a weapon of genocide, a weapon of war. And the way DAG, we're trying to, in a way, be more effective than the other organization is we treat every Palestinian as dignified and an honorable human being that we trust, and we deal with them directly. Unless they are proven they deal with Israel, that's the only exception we make, that we don't deal with them. So every Palestinian in Gaza or in the West Bank is a trusted person, not a terrorist, is not a suspect. We trust them. They are able to provide for themselves and for the community more than any other NGO, more than any expert who gets paid millions of dollars from outside to check if the Palestinians are trustworthy or not, if they are terrorists or not. For us, every Palestinian has the right to decide what is good for him, what's good for their community, and we work with them. So in a way, it's a flipped up. For the other organization, they treat every Palestinian as suspect, as terrorist, until proven otherwise. We flip this pyramid, and we treat every Palestinian, everyone in Gaza and Palestine, as the one who should be leading the efforts to rebuild, their efforts to get their rights, to end the occupation, to end the apartheid, to end the genocide. So I was actually, we were supposed to have a colleague from Sudan to join us and talk about the situation in Sudan. But again, the situation in Sudan is as bad, if not worse, the situation in Gaza, because it's on a much larger scale, and the population affected there is even bigger than the whole population in Palestine. He had an emergency, he had to go, but hopefully he will be able to join us next week. So again, we need help. We need help to support Iyad, to support Munder, to support Dr. Ez, the medical student, to support Ali and Rami for the disability group, to support Abu Hamza for the emergency services in the north, the medical point in the north, to provide for mobile wound care and medical points. We need to support Muhammad Al-Farra for his efforts to provide shelter for some families, despite the fact that not only a few hundred tents are allowed in, although the need, as the people in Gaza, again, we take the word of the people of Gaza, not the word of the US, not the word of Israel, not the word even of the UN. The people of Gaza said that they need 350,000 winterized, good quality tents to be able to help the people in Gaza. So this is the number that we go with. Every number that comes from Gaza is the truth. And everything you hear from other organizations is not the truth. It is something that is biased and played around with by Israel and its supporters. So we need that much help. Thank you, everyone. Anyone has any questions for Iyad, for Munder? Munder is back. Munder, you lost connection. You're back, yeah?
صحيح. As
Munder,
you
if you want to
know
say
that
anything.
this is an example
I don't
that
hear you, Munder.
we are really suffering to get internet signal. In the same time, in the whole of Gaza, we don't have any shop
Seems
that's
your
still
connection is
open
still
until
not
now
good. Do you hear us?
to
Do you
get
hear us, Munder?
electricity. Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear my voice?
We can hear
Yes,
you,
yes.
Munder.
Yeah.
نسمعك مدير.
Actually, I just left the shop where I was
Munder, we cannot
connected to
hear
the
you.
internet.
Nidal, we can hear him.
Cannot hear you. There's something wrong with your connection.
Nidal, we can hear
Nidal,
him.
I think
Do
you're
you hear
having
him?
the
It's
connection. We
probably
can
your
hear him.
connection.
So maybe I'm the one who cannot hear him. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear my voice?
Yes,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
well.
Oh,
Okay. So,
سامعينك.
Wallah al-Azim, it is extremely hard for me to get internet signal and to find a shop that has electricity until now. So normally to switch on the router to get internet signal, it is really difficult. So as the batteries here will be finished very fast. So that is the situation. We are really struggling to get internet signal and to be connected to the world. As I told you in the previous time, that for me, it's okay to cut for food and drink, but it's not okay for me to cut internet and be connected to the internet. That's the situation in general. Yesterday was the worst day starting from the ceasefire 1 month ago until now, as there are so many bombs around us in Gaza City and in the whole of Gaza. And we are expecting, as Brother Ahmed Al-Farra mentioned, and I confirmed to you, that is the trending news so far for this hour. And we are expecting to enter for the second stage of the ceasefire in upcoming 48 hours. And hopefully this time it works. And after that, I will be allowed to go to my village or to where I was staying in Beit Lahia. So that will be the great news for me and for many displaced families here who is still unable to reach their village. So far, we are also expecting, as Brother Iyad said, that we are expecting a bad weather in upcoming days. So it is an emergency appeal to everyone who care about Gaza and who are able to help Gaza. Just do it, please, as soon as possible. And as we mention all the time, every second count before the bad weather come to Gaza. So we need tents, we need shelters, we need to change the situation here in Gaza to save and keep our children warm here in Gaza. So that is the situation in general. We are still struggling. Even we have a ceasefire, but that is only in the media. On the ground, we still have bombs. They still break the ceasefire all the time. And hopefully this time it works, as all the news talking about. They will implement the second stage of the ceasefire within 48 hours of starting from now.
Thank you, Munder. So if Munder said I confirm, this means it's gonna happen. I trust what Munder said.
Hopefully that is the hope. That's the hope, my
if
brother.
this happens and you go back to Beit Lahia, you promise?
So that time we can we are independence actually. So that time we just need your help to replant the strawberry again and to export our products from Gaza to global market.
You promise you'll start the first ever DAG strawberry farm in Beit Lahia. If this happens.
As my brother Abu Hamza said, we are really scared. We are really pessimistic. At the same time, we are optimistic for the upcoming days, as he already stopped. And for me, I'm not going to start to do anything until we see what will happen in the next 48 hours. We can't do anything because we are scared that the war will come back again in Gaza. So far, every second changing, it keeps changing very fast. It keeps changing. So many good news and bad news happen. The world must take action to stop this fighting start again here in Gaza. So that is our appeal, and that is the most important appeal for us. Please help us to get blankets, to get warm for our children, and get more tents, as no more houses in Gaza. All of the people here are staying in the tents, and as I can see that if you can see in the California or in Michigan, the bad weather, the cold weather, how it
it in Gaza, it is more worse even. So that is an appeal, emergency appeal to everyone to provide blankets. And I am an example, actually. When I left Beit Lahia in last time, I thought I would return back immediately. So I left everything behind me. I didn't even bring any blanket with me. And I just get my children and left my house, or where my rubble, actually, where I was staying in Beit Lahia. So that I am an example of many examples in north of Gaza. The people here in Gaza, they left everything and behind, and they don't have blankets or tents, or so this is an appeal. I'm keep repeating the same sentence, and hopefully all of the people who cares about Gaza, who support Gaza, the war is not stopped yet. We are still suffering. We still have so many challenges. And for me, it was an example just now that the internet cut, and I'm looking for the internet. I'm even not allowed to speak loudly here inside the hub. So I am coming out of the hub to reach my message. This is a message. It's a clear message, and honest message from Gaza. We really need support. We really need your time. This is the time, actually, that we need. And hopefully we can find a response as soon as possible. Hopefully we will get a good news in upcoming days.
منذر، شو اسم بنتك؟ شو اسم بنتك؟ بنتك شو اسمها الصغيرة؟
بنتي, I got two children. The first one is Faraj. ما بعرف شو معناها بالإنجليزي.
Faraj, yeah, Faraj means actually means hope. Anyway, hope.
Hopefully, hopefully.
Okay, let's say
relief. Actually, Faraj means
relief.
بنتك شو اسمها؟
Relief.
بنتك شو اسمها؟
My daughter, actually, she's very lovely. She was sick for the last
How old is she? سلامتها.
3 years old, and her name is Intisar. In
عليك.
Arabic means victory. So hopefully we will relieve. After that, we will victory, inshallah, very soon. Hopefully.
So please help Mondir and his 5-year-old son Faraj, which means relief, and his 3-year-old daughter, that means Intisar, victory, and help Iyad and Musa, his son Abu Musa.
Yeah. Yes.
Actually, when I'm speaking to you, I'm not preparing myself at all. I'm not using any. I'm just talking. I just want to talk something, which is for when you ask me about my daughter, she was very sick for the last week, and Alhamdulillah, she recovered today, and I can see that. And she is an example for the children of Gaza because of bad food. Even they allow many trucks. Okay, no comments about that. They allow many trucks to come to Gaza. No food. Just let me complete this point. But everything is monitored here in Gaza. And this is an update about what is coming to Gaza. They allow many trucks of iPhones to come to Gaza. So in upcoming days, we are expecting, عنده قال لقيت ليلى عبد اللطيف. لا, we are expecting that what happened to Lebanon last year will be happening in Gaza in upcoming future.
Be careful of these phones, because it can be a repeat of the pager situation, or they might have spyware. They might have spyware on them. So please, the people in Gaza, do not buy these phones. Do not use them. Be very careful.
I'm going to give you an example, my brother.
Iyad Al-Mundar, thank you. Please, if you stay with me, we have Dr. Ibrahim Benihani from Sudan. Dr. Benihani is an expert on humanitarian aid or global public health work. Dr. Ibrahim, are you with us? Dr. Ibrahim, are you with us? Do you hear me, Dr. Ibrahim? I want to try to hear a little bit about the situation in Sudan, and we'll come back to you, Iyad and Munzar. Inshallah, Dr. Ibrahim is here. Do you hear us, Dr. Bani?
أهلا مرحبا.
أهلا Dr. Bani, أهلا وسهلا. So again, as I told you, Dr. Bani is a colleague, he's a friend, he's here in the United States. He's the doctor of public health and global relief. Actually, he worked many organizations, global organization, United Nations. He has a lot of knowledge and expertise about the situation in Gaza and situation in Sudan. Dr. Ibrahim, if you please have any time to share with us any updates if you have about the situation in Sudan, El Fasher, how things are going there. Anything you want to share with us before we lose you? I know you are busy, but since you are here, we're happy to hear from you.
Yes, things goes are usually still there is a lot of humanitarian aid going through, especially national organizations, and they're helping. Most of the people are coming outside Al Fashir, not inside Al Fashir. So the aid is going, but still they're waiting for UN agencies to come in and to get more aid. Last 2 weeks, I was in Kampala, visited the Sudanese refugees. There is almost 100,000 Sudanese in Uganda. Really, they also need a lot of help, but there the situation really is very difficult.
Did you manage to get in touch with any of the organization that providing relief there so we can connect with them and provide more help? I mean, we don't need to discuss this now, but since you've been there and you know people on the ground, if there is any organization on the ground that we can collaborate with to provide aid to Sudan or in
Yes,
Kampala or the refugees outside, please let us know
yes,
because
there is
Hold
Sudanese, it's called Sudanese Doctor for Peace and Development. They are working on the ground. But also, if you could help, I have medical students, Al Fashir, Northern for University, Al Fashir University medical students. They are running a community kitchen. So
that
they
would be
need help
great.
in providing food.
That would be great.
So
Please.
if I would like, I can put you is in touch with them, the Medical Students Association at Al Fashir University.
Wow, this will be great. This way we'll be supporting the students and supporting the projects that they are doing to help their community. That's actually a perfect project for DAG. So,
Okay, I
inshallah,
appreciate very
I'll
much.
create a group with you, Dr. Ibrahim, and we will invite those students and we'll create a group from our DAG doctors and colleagues here. So they will be in touch with them and we can set this up. And again, with DAG, we do things fast. We don't wait 6 months to put plans and stuff like that. Once we connect with someone, you know, in a week, we will be up and running and helping. So that's
So,
really
okay.
great. Any hope for a ceasefire or end of the war in Sudan yet? Do you hear anything about that or still?
It's still status quo, but people they are optimistic of what's last happening.
Unfortunately. And again, many of the countries that are enabling the war and the genocide in Sudan and Congo are the same ones who are doing and committing and supporting the genocide in Gaza. It's just the same beneficiaries. I mean, there are people in this world who benefit from war, from killing, from destruction. There are nations that benefit from this. There are ideologies that benefit from this, which is, I mean, it should be something unconscionable in 24th century. I don't know why some people still use mass slaughter of civilians and children as their way of living or making a living. It's just I cannot comprehend this. But there are so many other ways to make money, to make profit. There are much better, you know, more conscious business decisions, business plans, production plans, other than making weapons. One of my patients actually does work at one of these weapon manufacturing companies. He's just a regular patient, a regular middle-aged man, and they make the engines, those diesel engines that goes in these you know, tanks and stuff like that. And he's been saying that in the last 2 years they have been working overtime, every single employee overtime, and they're paying them a lot because they cannot keep up with making tanks and bombs and weapons and stuff like that. And one of the senators actually mentioned last week or last month, genocide is a good business. Can you imagine an elected official, American elected official, saying that genocide is a good business because it's making billions and billions of money to Boeing, as Karama shared with us last week, to this diesel, engine company, to all these places. They are benefiting from war. This is what they call the blood money. Like, you are making billions and billions, like Musk and his likes. They are making billions and billions, profiting off, the suffering and the miserable situation of regular people and children and families all over the world. I really, I mean, we cannot accept this world. We cannot accept this world, that this is the world that we live in, and we should not accept to inherit this world to our children and our future generation. So, Dr. Ibrahim, thank you for joining us. Again, we're going to create this group, and please connect us with those students. That will be a perfect project for us to help, because as medical students, we really need to support them. And the fact that they already took the initiative to help their communities makes it a great, choice for us. So now I would
Also,
say, تفضل.
sorry to,
لا تفضل.
there is a medical mission to Uganda, to the Sudanese refugees there, from Sudanese doctors in UK, US, and if you have any doctor volunteering, it will be in December, sometime December.
Okay.
Or every 3 months there is a mission. So
Yeah,
anybody,
everyone who's on call, anyone interested to go on a mission to Uganda to help the refugees there, please connect with us. We'll connect to Dr. Ibrahim. I know Maisa will go because Maisa now is in Egypt. You know, Maisa,
yeah,
whenever we tell her there is something, she'll say, I'll go. So Maisa is always ready to go to any mission. She's already in Egypt. I think it will be easy for her to go there, but maybe we'll have her build a whole team to go with her. So anyone is invited. Maisa will be there. Dr. Ibrahim maybe will be there. They can lead this mission. Anything else, Dr. Ibrahim, you want to share?
that's all. Next month I will be in Egypt, so
Oh, okay.
you have,
Yeah, so you are Maisa.
I'll be visiting Egypt for a month. Okay.
That's nice, nice.
All right. Thank you.
At least it's better weather than
Thank you.
here.
Yeah.
And it's easier to be there. It's closer to be able to help. So please stay in touch and let's start this group with the Sudanese medical students and anywhere else we can help. Now we'll just go
Okay.
back to Iyad and yeah, Iyad, you wanted to say something or updates about what Munzer mentioned?
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام.
Dr. Nidal, I again say we need to save Gaza. Civilians here are under a catastrophe situation. We expected another storm within the next 48 hours. Inshallah, will not happen, but I think within the next few weeks we will face more storms. So no one can expect what's the result. And after the starvation, blockade, and destruction of infrastructure and denial of basic aids, what will happen for the children and women and peoples? And also, they put struggles over the medical evacuations. Up to this time, we have a huge list for especially children and injuries, who's still waiting. But I think if we continue our pressure and talking about the reality and the genocide here and our needs, we will win. We will have a victory at the end of the road. We will not give up, even thought what's still happening, and even thought what's the deception and what they still committing. I know they have one commitment. They commit to kill us by multiple ways, by hidden ways. So we will not give up. I think with Doctors Against Genocide and all of the organizations that support humanity and the human being, we will succeed. So I talk to my colleagues in London and in different countries. We need to resume stands in streets and requesting again and again to stop genocide. What's still happening here? They resuming genocide, re-engineering genocide by another way. So it's very important to prevent them to continue. the international pressure succeeded, and they forced them to sign agreement, even though they try to find exit from the agreement. But we must force them. With the other issues, it's very important when they colored the line here over the land by yellow line, green line, red line, and they create another colors. I don't recognize it in the agreement for granting them ability to kill the people, kill civilians. At every moment, we're hearing explosive robotic here, especially in eastern part. I don't know what's the rebuilding in the region that under the control of occupation, and also they destroy what remains there from the building and infrastructure. Okay, you need to rebuild, leave it, and all of the Gazans here will rebuild. We promise all of the world we will rebuild Gaza. It's embedded in our DNA. But the occupation must go out from Gaza, and all of the international community and NGOs and all of our people will rebuild Gaza. But they need to prevent rebuilding Gaza to force us expelled it, to force expulsion process by a hidden way, by soft way. So this is the reality here, Dr. Nadal, and we must keep going. We will not give up. We promise you, even though it was still happening, Monder, me, and all of my colleagues here, we promise we will continue, inshallah, and we will succeed. Thank you so much.
You had a message to President Trump, because President Trump wants
Yeah.
the Nobel Peace Prize, and also he created this board of peace, and he is the head of that board. So what is your message to President Trump if he really wants to be on the right side of history, if he really wants to win
Of
a
course.
Nobel Peace Prize and be worthy of that, and for the legacy of his board of peace to be, what
Yeah.
does he need to do? Can he really deserve this honor or this legacy if the children of Gaza continue to starve to death, if the children of Gaza continue to freeze in their tents and flood in their
Yeah.
tents?
Yeah.
If
I-
the aid and shelter does not go in, if Israel
Yeah.
continue to breach the ceasefire agreement that he honored himself and his country, and for us as Americans, he put our word that they are the guarantors of this agreement. This is a call maybe for him, for any leader in the world, for the United
Yeah.
States, all Americans. If you make a promise, at least you need to keep up your word for people to respect you, to honor you. Otherwise, if you come every day and say, "Oh, I want to make peace. I want to be the head of the board of peace. I want to get a Nobel Peace Prize," I give you my word that the war is over, but children, mothers, fathers, grandfathers continue to die, continue to starve, continue to be killed, continue to live without shelter, and all these things. Do you see the hypocrisy
Yeah.
there, the inconsistency
Yeah.
there? What is the message from the people of
Yeah.
Gaza to President
Yeah.
Trump, to American people, to American politicians?
Yeah, we at the first time really we need from President Trump to stand with the right side from the history. No one can believe this is a peace agreement with a selective firing. It's not a peace agreement. So my message to President Trump, we invite you to visit Gaza and touch the reality, not visit GHF warehouses. You must visit Gaza and our camps to watch by your eyes and to record your testimonies from the locals. When you stand over the completely destroyed land, you will touch the reality here. No one can reflect the reality even more than your eyes. So we invite Mr. President Trump to come to Gaza with his peace council, with his peace council members to touch the reality. As any committee need to rebuild or reassess what's committed here, we invite you to come to Gaza to see, to watch the completely destroyed land. Nothing remains here to touch the reality. I know Mr. Trump know the reality, and we believe he promised us more than 20 times to bring peace. But the translation of peace in the dictionary of Netanyahu is completely different from translation in all of the international community dictionary. Peace meaning peace, not meaning starvation, re-engineering, genocide. The peace is peace, just. So we invite all of the interest people, come to Gaza, see the reality here, and you can make a change directly. We need one call from Mr. Trump to the Israeli government. It's enough to enough. Nothing remains. What's the meaning of clarification when the one-armed man, maybe he have a madness in his brain, pass the yellow line, and after one moment they kill him and shoot Gaza for more than 50 bombardment. It's not a clarification for that. It's not real. We under nightmare up to this time. I hearing explosion in East Gaza. So we send a human appeal, Mr. President Trump. We will face a death by multiple ways if another storm hit Gaza within 48 hours. You must stop the genocide and entering aids and winter tents and relief and mobile homes without conditions, just only.
Yes, yes, yeah. And also, we want to congratulate Gaza for the winning campaign of New York Mayor Zoran
Yes.
Mamdani. And we
Yeah.
think Zoran did not win. It was Gaza that won. It was the voice of
Yeah.
Gaza, the sacrifice of Gaza. Everything that happened in Gaza, they changed the minds of the American people, and that the American people are waking up. And this is a message to you, President Trump, to your Republicans, to the Democrats, to everyone. The American people are not buying your bullshit anymore. They are not buying your APAC money anymore. They are smart. They know the truth. They saw the truth through social media, despite your mainstream media, misinformation. And if you really want to be the right side of history, if you want to win any election going forward, if you want to win the mid-election coming next year, you have to be anti-genocide, like Zoran Mamdani. You have to be anti-Israel, like Zoran Mamdani. You have to be pro-justice. You have to be pro-life. You have to be pro-humanity. You have to be pro-poor, pro-weak, pro-regular worker in New York, not pro-Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Zuckerberg and those multi-billionaires. Their billions will not buy you elections. They can give you the billions, but we, the American people, will make sure that you will lose. If you want to win any election, you have to be like Zoran, that won because of Gaza. The only one who's going to win going forward is anyone who stands for Gaza, anyone who was awakened by Gaza, and anyone who is willing to work for justice and to be the right side of history, like Zoran, and hopefully many others. The win for Zoran is just the beginning. It's just one win. Zoran alone cannot do it. We cannot just go now and start, looking for mistakes for him and go against him or under his neck. We need to support him, and we need to add more and more politicians and candidates like him so we can make a change. One person, whoever he is, cannot make the required change by themselves. So we have to continue to back him up. We have to continue to support him. We have to continue to shield him from the pressure from the other side, because now he's going to have thousands of knives going against him from all directions, and we cannot add to that. We have to make sure that he stays strong to support him, and also to push more politicians like him, like good people with integrity, who care about justice, who care about humanity for the people in New York, the people in the United States, the people in Palestine, the people in Congo, in Sudan, in Mexico, everywhere. For the immigrants, for the black, for the brown, for the Christian, for the Jews, for the Muslims. We care about what is the common good for all humanity, not just for the warmongers, not just for the weapon manufacturing companies, not for Elon Musk and the ones who are exploiting all of us, and of course not for the supremacist, messianic psychopaths of Israel and Zionism. So if you want to win, if you want to be the right side of history, if you want to get Nobel Peace Prizes, if you want people to respect you Your whatever you stand for, you have to be a good human being and save the people that we can save in Gaza, in Sudan, in Congo, and everywhere. So thank you, the people of Gaza. If you made it so far, those audience with us, if you made it so far, you are lucky because the hard part is over now. We're gonna have you go with Karama and Dr. Iman and Dania and Dr. David. I think we lost Dr. David to share with us their visit to DC with Maribeth and with Dr. Alisa, Dr. Adla. So, Karama,
Yeah, Nidal.
you want to say anything? You want to go with Iman?
Yeah, I
How
do.
are we gonna do it?
I want I want to share some updates from the group in Congo. So Hadija and Elvis are our partners on the ground in Congo. And unfortunately, Elvis, who is an exceptional journalist who's always with us on the ground, has not been able to join us today. But he sent us a message saying that Ubuntu, Ubuntu DRC, the organization we work with in Goma, assisted 134 individuals with their families in returning to their homes in 4 different locations: Sake, Minova, Rubaya, and Masisi. And the aim of the aid that is provided to them is to restore dignity and stability to those who suffered from displacement due to the genocide in Goma. And the last 10 days, in particular, have been in partnership with us, and I will share with you some photos that Elvis has sent to us from Ubuntu DRC. They're really great, actually. Very exciting. How do I share? Nidal, maybe you should share.
No, I mean, you want me to share?
I think I want you to
Learning.
share.
I'm gonna be high tech soon if you keep missing in action. No, okay, no,
You see?
you are better at this. Yes, thank you. Yeah, looks good.
Yeah. So this is uh-oh. So these are the families that have been displaced, that we have been able to help them get shelter and get food and housing. This is the team on the ground. As you can see, they're wearing the same t-shirt that I am wearing, the Doctors Against Genocide t-shirt. And it's like essentials, soap, shaving creams, shavers, food, blankets, water.
Wow, beautiful clothes.
Yes, reminds you of South Africa, right?
Yes, I know. Everything in Africa.
And this is my favorite picture.
Wow, it's really amazing. I love it.
This is the Goma team on the ground. They're all wearing the same t-shirts that we're wearing, so this is beautiful. Inshallah, we will meet them in person. And again, these are a lot of women who are, unfortunately, have suffered displacement of genocide effects. A lot of women and girls suffered sexual violence, and with the trauma of sexual violence, it affects the victims themselves and the family around them. So it's very important for us, especially as doctors against genocide and as women, to support women who have been victims and give them different experiences. So this is history, their resilience builds, and their stories does not end with what happened to them, but it starts when their circumstances become better and they change. So that's all. Inshallah, Elvis will be with us
Did
next week.
Hadija share? I think, did she share also any updates, Hadija?
This is all. This is from Hadija.
Oh, Hadija. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Elvis. I mean, they do work together.
Perfect. Okay. Good.
So it's really amazing. I'm so touched that we're able to reach people in Congo and work with them and make a difference. Even if it's small, it will only get bigger, inshallah.
And we're also trying to help in Sudan. We do have a
Yeah.
group that we work with about the sanitation point. We're still
Mm.
working with them. Things are not smooth. I mean, it takes time to build a smooth process that things become, easy.
Yeah.
We were able to send them some funds. Unfortunately, there was some problem with the exchange rate that a significant part of the money, was lost to I don't know, the exchange rate. The bank there is not the best. So we're trying to, I think, send it to UK, the funds to UK. They do have a sister organization there, and
Yeah.
from there they will able to get the funds. We don't want whatever money you donate. We want to make the best out of them, whether we're
I
sending
mean,
it to
it took us
Gaza or
time to
Sudan.
get our connections in Gaza.
Exactly, it takes time. And actually, in the beginning, when we were starting to send money to Gaza, when
We
people
had the
would take
same
the money
problem.
out for the bank, they were losing almost 30, 40%, sometimes 50%. We took us a while to learn how to make it better, so we don't lose money with just because of technical or exchange or because of interest charged here and there. We're trying to do the same with Sudan. So soon we're gonna master it. We're gonna make it work better. In Congo, it is working. So thank you again. Do not forget these communities that need your help. Please donate. Please be generous. Please share the word with your colleagues, with your circles, with your family, with your institutions. Have everyone else help. I know none of us alone can do it, but the more people we get involved, mobilize more people, notify more people, we all become stronger and we can hopefully fix these injustices so these communities don't need aid anymore, because our goal is not aid. Our goal is to end injustice, take the knee of the oppressors off their necks so they can provide for themselves, because we know that the people of Gaza, of Sudan, of Congo, each one of these locations, whether the people or the land, are the most resilient, the most resourceful places in the world. Congo has more resources to feed and provide for the whole world if they leave them alone. The same as Gaza. The people of Gaza will actually teach us how to live, how to provide, how to make life and businesses and investments if they are allowed to be free and to be on their own. Sudan, we all know Sudan. Sudan is a huge country. It has so many resources, so many potential that is not, given to the people because they have been exploited by, regional powers here and there fighting for the gold and for other resources at the expense of the real owners of that land, that gold, the regular people. So thank you everyone for your support. Should we go now to the DC feedback about our recent visit?
Yes, yes.
We have our colleagues who were with us here. Um, uh, so Iman, all yours now, and I know people are in safe hands going forward. Uh, and please go, you and Martha and Elisa, Dania, Hadil, Adla, Mary Beth.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. We had a really as good as can be day at the Hill last week. Um, like Nidal had mentioned, we had the highest number of appointments that we've gotten, 31 appointments, and a lot of them were with offices that we had never met with before. So definitely there is a shift. I think one of the most important things about going to the Hill that day is, just like our colleagues on the ground in Gaza are saying, these offices need to know that the ceasefire is not real, that people are still suffering, that they cannot be complacent. And I think another role that we play is that we keep them accountable, because oftentimes what you'll find is they try to focus on the things that they have done, and I think our role is to push them to do more, some of the offices just want to do the very bare minimum, and I think we need to keep them accountable, and we need to press back. So that part's really important. And so our next day at the Hill is December 17th. So, take the day off from work, start making your travel plans. It happens really quickly. I know it seems far away, but it'll be upon us, and there's still so much work for all of us to do. So I encourage you to do that. And I'll pass on. The first person I can see is Alyssa. So I'm going to pass on to Alyssa to just kind of share about her experience last Wednesday.
Hi, everyone. So there was a nice change. Just kind of walking the walls of the different buildings. There used to be I Stand with Israel placards essentially outside of a majority of offices. Those have that because I haven't been on Hill Day for a few months now, but I've noticed have started to come down. So there is a shift. So us aside from us having more numbers and meetings and more of us being there, it feels like something is starting to happen. It feels like the work that we're doing is starting to be heard. In addition, Aman had just kind of mentioned this, but it's interesting that sometimes we're the news source for some of these meetings, that we have a lot information because we have our weekly webinars about what's actually happening in the ceasefire versus what they're privy to. So seeing some of the shock and some of the either staffers or congresspeople's faces as we're still delivering news is it's just an interesting feel. That's pretty much all I wanted to add.
Mary Beth, you're the next person I see.
Okay, so reflecting on this recent Hill Day and then prior webinars, had moments that emphasized the importance of the academics and the scholastic pursuit in being against genocide, because we did have people ask directly in our last meeting with Janya, can you tell me what are some of the long-term impacts if you survive periods of starvation? And because of the education we get through these webinars, we can all sort of field those questions. You don't have to actually be someone who has done fellowship training in starvation studies. Anybody with a moderate level understanding can answer those questions to a person who has a law degree or a political science degree. They're not, right? They're not at the level of needing a fellowship trained physician anyway. Which then has the good idea fairy flying in to say, have we thought about how do we organize and make this education open access curriculum, starting with medical foundations of anti-genocide work and going on where through these webinars, someone with a skill set I don't have would pull out the educational pieces of them, could potentially also put it in a podcast format too. Because I know as a learner, as a med student, I listen to a lot of podcasts driving to and from my rotations. So can someone find the Doctors Against Genocide podcast and gear up an episode of, again, the very sort of obvious specific example of impacts of starvation, short and long term, refeeding syndrome, that kind of stuff. Which again would take a tech kid maybe to do that. But something we can maybe start thinking through too as we continue to expand sort of the footprint and educational piece of this. How do we make our curriculum accessible? Because we also offer that education from like a decolonized perspective. And so any of the like fellowship training you get in the US in global health is still gonna be from these white colonizer institutions with that air of like do good or doing damage, right? So just something for us to think about combining these efforts. Yes, going to the Hill is also our opportunity as healthcare workers to get the vital signs of where the socio-political environment is. It's not just for us changing minds as if a single visit would do that. It also gives us information about where we're at, where we're going, and informs for future direction and movement. I think that's all I have. I also had a parent-teacher conference this week, and my 10-year-old's teacher asked me, how come he knows so much about genocide? My 10-year-old. And I said, well, you know, mom's very involved in this group, Doctors Against Genocide, and he's shy. He's right here next to me. She said, he is very committed to justice for the people.
What's his name? What's his name?
What's that?
What's his name?
This is Oliver.
Oliver, come on, Oliver.
He's hiding. He's shy.
Oliver, hi, Oliver.
Oliver, come say hi to Nadal.
What is genocide, Oliver? Oliver, hello.
Oliver, what kinds of things have you been teaching your classmates and teachers about genocide? Anything you want to share with us? No, not at this time.
Yeah, I mean, your mom, we all held orange DAG signs, except your mom held a green sign. So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, they call it
Yeah,
mom has to go to DC to yell at the president.
Okay, where was this sign? Oh, that was inside.
That's what my kids call it. Mom's going to DC to yell at the president.
The president. So this was the Rayburn cafeteria, yeah? We had this
At the
picture
cafeteria.
at the cafeteria at Rayburn. So guys, doctors, healthcare workers nationwide, do not be shy, do not be scared. We can go, we can visit these offices, we can go to their cafeteria, to their offices, we can speak up, we can put our signs, we are not intimidated, there is no risk, there is no danger. And I know everything takes time. It took us almost a year to get this to work. And I really think with the help of everyone who's going. And Joseph actually is a superstar, was our superstar this time. So if Joseph from New York, the guy, the musician who comes to DC with the doctors to support them, to support the cause of justice, then everyone can come. Joseph, thank you. You and Martha, please go ahead, share with us any reflection about your experience in DC.
I'm an old girl, so I'll let the young go first.
It was such an interesting experience. Like I know how spineless the Democrats are on what's happening in Palestine from the news and from things that I read, but seeing it up close was so interesting, and I was really impressed with how the people on my team were able to talk to the I mean, I'm thinking especially of the first meeting we had with Senator Emma, something from Washington State.
Randall, I think.
Yeah, Emily Randall. And yeah, it's just the cowardly fear to use the word genocide in this like class of political actors is so deep. I mean, I was mad. I was so angry at her, but I feel like the people on my team were able to engage her in a way that was respectful, but also very firm and very much holding her accountable and not dancing around the bush, like beating around the bush. It was I mean, I remember Emily Randall started tearing up at a certain point, and it almost felt like we were breaking through, maybe, just maybe. So yeah, I mean, it was just really it was very powerful, and I could have expected to hear the word nuance over and over again from these people, but it was still kind of shocking, just so stupid. But yeah, it was an awesome experience for me. Thanks.
Thank you, Joseph, for joining us. We're proud of you. We're honored to have you, and thank you for bringing this point that our politicians and our media and our institutions, it's making it harder to say the word genocide rather than commit the act of genocide. For them, committing a genocide, supporting, aiding, and abetting a genocide is easier on them. It's more, I don't know, more justified for them than calling out the crime. This is also something that blows up, my mind, our minds. How can you be silent or fund or aid and abet the mass slaughter of children, of people, of population, starve them to death, and think this is something that we, all of us, should be silent about it and let it go, versus being scared from naming this crime and holding those who are participating in it accountable. It's really, yeah. But again, we're getting there. We're getting there, and having people like you, and hopefully you can invite your friends and your colleagues and your circles, and we want to make this bigger because we need numbers. I really think we are getting the hang of it now. After 1 year of experimenting, the best way to do it with the help of everyone, the help of Iman and Dania and Martha, we are getting there and we're making a difference. And all what we need, we just need more people to join us because numbers count. And when these politicians see 2, 3 people coming, is different than when they see 100 doctors coming, 200 doctors and non-doctors and supporters and everyone. When they feel like the people are waking up, their constituents are waking up, the American people are waking up, and they are holding them accountable and they're not buying their lies anymore, believe me, they will listen more. And they are already starting to pay attention to listen more. But we need to keep going and we need to go stronger. Martha, how was your experience having your son, your youngest son there with you?
No, my oldest son.
Oh, good. You're the oldest?
Yeah, the elder.
36.
Oh, you're the oldest. Okay.
Oh, it was awesome. I was so happy to have him there, and I was so happy to share this important piece of my life with him, and happy to see him get more involved. And we're going to work on the other 2 now, and all their friends too. Yeah, we had a really good team, I thought. We were very cohesive and sort of, we just had some choreography of speech, I think. And Karama, of course, was the superstar speaker. But I also felt like some of the offices we went to were repeats, and I felt like it's good to see that relationship get more embedded and grow more. And I feel like that, I don't know what the possibilities are in that, but I feel like there are some. And I think that we've got some room to explore that. And then the new offices that I don't think we had been to before were also really interesting. Then those were, I think, both where they got kind of emotional. I also really appreciated that one of the guys, the older man, Bill, I can't remember his name, Bill Foster, offering us that advice at the end, saying, you must continue to speak about all the genocides. And it'll be more if you'll be listened to more effectively if you do that, because he was speaking about how people are so reactive to and so pro-Israel, and So it sort of came from a mixed bag, but I think it was wise advice. And yeah, so it was a great day, and it felt too like it was a much more oiled machine, thanks to the Oilers, in chief, Iman and Danya, and it was really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I just say, because I was on Martha's team and Joseph's
there
team,
was some discrimination. You
and it was
handpicked
such a
your
good
team
team.
because
It-
Iman and Dania are
Yeah.
biased to you guys. They picked the best team for
But
you.
we also had meetings with the representatives themselves, and
Yes.
I think that's very rare to happen. But I think, meeting with the representatives themselves is very good. But I would not discount meeting with the staffers, because it's also very, very good. And as always, as we say,
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
my phone does not like it.
What's your
What I always say is that we are an educational organization, we're an advocacy organization, and we are aid organization. So part of what we do when we go to the Hill is to actually educate. And I think all of us realize how uneducated some of our representatives are, especially on the definition of genocide. Dr. Phil Brewer was with us, and he did a fantastic job giving them what the genocide convention is all about, and putting it like so clearly to them. So we do have the duty to educate, and the education leads to advocacy and leads to a change in policy. And working against genocide involves tons of that work. So I appreciate everyone. The group was incredible. Everybody was organized, was on time. The meetings were well arranged, and we had the press conference at the end that was very well attended. And thank you, everyone. It was really a special day.
Thank you, Karama. Dania, where are you hiding, Dania?
Hi, everyone. I'm going to try to organize my thoughts because they're all over the place. So first, I'll start out by saying somebody had asked earlier how many people attended the Hill Day. I think we had close to 50, if not more. And I just want to thank everybody who hopped on a plane, who hopped on a train, who had to get in 24 hours before the day to join us. It was a very powerful day. I know personally for my group, for my team, I actually wrote down what Martha said about the choreography of speech, because I think our group also, we conveyed that. I feel like everybody kind of had this point to make, and we all were respectful of each other's time to squeeze in this point along with all of our demands. For the particular meetings that we had a mixed bag. And I think that goes for the day in general. We met with healthcare reps that are healthcare professionals. We also met with senators' offices. We also met with Republicans' offices that claim to be America First, and we demanded the release of our American boy that sits in Israeli detention centers. So I think the entire day was a mixed bag. And like Martha said, there is power to meeting with the same group. And I think, Martha, what you're referring to is that meeting you guys got with Seth Moulton, which was actually made on the spot that particular day. There was word that we were going to be on the Hill. And as you guys know, in the news not too long ago, he had announced that he won't be taking AIPAC money. So I thought it would be perfect to kind of have our group go in and thank him personally for this, and kind of push him on signing to block the bombs. But I think it was an amazing day. Yeah, that's my disorganized thoughts on it.
Can you remind us of the demands, what demands we had? Because these are demands we need to repeat today also and always.
Yes. So our demands are to open up all entries of aid into Gaza, as all of our colleagues from Gaza just shared. The Rafah border remains closed. the Nitsarim corridor remains closed. Also to evacuate any of the patients there that are in need of medical treatment. Are also the release of our healthcare colleagues that remain in detention. Our other demand was the release of Muhammad Ibrahim, who is a Florida-born American citizen that's been in Israeli detention since February of this year and has not been convicted of no charge. Our other demand was to call for a ceasefire in Sudan. Our other demand is for to stop the settler terrorism and the annexation that's happening in the West Bank. And last but not least, just encouraging the senators and the representatives to halt all aid into Gaza. Actually, I forgot one. It's to name it a genocide, because the only way to get everybody justice is to call it for what it is, which reminds me, our first meeting that we had it with the rep himself. He's out of Connecticut, and he actually told us that we are wasting our time on advocating for people to sign on to this because we may piss off the Israelis. So I just like to say, and hopefully this is okay, I just like to say that on the X Twitter platform, the translation button had to be disabled because of all of their genocidal rhetoric. It had to be disabled the day we were there. And this just goes to show you there is power in language. And something that Doctors Against Genocide does is it does not mince words. We name the perpetrator always, and because that's the only way we're gonna have an honest conversation. And the particular representative we met with, he had just met with MBS, who was also in town the day we were in town. And he claimed to be, knowledgeable on what's happening over there. And so that was the advice he got on calling it a genocide. That is not going to MBS. Oh, Mohammed bin Salman.
Oh, MBS. Wow.
He had just had a meeting with him because the rep we met with is on the intelligence committee. So I guess he met with MBS personally. But I just like to say that shouldn't deter us. I think it's just as important of a House resolution as the rest of them are. And it just goes to show you the power of language, and we should never lose sight of that. And yeah, and I'll see everybody next month.
Inshallah. You're muted, Nida.
Yeah, next month, which is when? What date you want to meet everyone, Dania?
December 17th.
December 17th. And if you saw from the picture, our colleague, Dr. John Rohr, was with us. Dr. John had a major back surgery 2 weeks before this event. And despite this, he refused to stay at home and he joined us on the Hill for a few hours, despite himself having a major back surgery 2 weeks ago. That was a result of being detained in Israel, genocidal Israel, 6 weeks ago when he went to the West Bank. When I mentioned the West Bank, they detained him and they ended up deporting him. And it seems he used to have mild back issues before, but because of the experience that he went through and the long flight and the detention and the stress, exacerbated his situation, ended up needing surgery, major back surgery that he had 2 weeks ago. And despite that, he showed up, which means that any one of us can show up. There is no excuse, and we are going there every month. If you cannot make it this month, please make it next month. There is enough time for every one of us, especially the medical community, because we are better off and we can travel and we can arrange, and no one gives me an excuse that I cannot take 1 day off work or half day off work. You can come for a whole day, you can come for 2 days, you can come for half a day, you can, be there for a few hours. If you cannot come to DC, you can advocate locally in your state with your state representatives, with your, elected officials in the state. And also, we know that Thanksgiving is coming, and I know this holiday is controversial for all good reasons. And it seems it was not really giving thanks, it was taking advantage of the indigenous people here and the natives. So, as everything, unfortunately, we learned in our schools and our history books, usually the victors write history, and usually this history is not the truth. It is written by the occupier, by the colonizer, by those who commit genocide. So Thanksgiving was actually for the Americans to enjoy the spoils that they got by eradicating and genociding the natives. It's not really a holiday to be proud of, but despite that, for those, unfortunately, the majority of Americans do celebrate this holiday, and they're enjoying the time, the meals, being with their families. So at least the minimum you can do to pay up for the past atrocities that the United States committed against the natives, against the slaves, against many other countries all over the world. The least we can do is support the communities that continue to undergo genocide. Unfortunately, that is being supported by our government and our elected officials and APAC and the like. So please be generous. Please remember the people who do not have families. Remember the people who lost their families due to the genocide. Remember the people who lost their children. Remember the people who have no house to meet up and have a meal. Remember the people who have no tent. Remember the people who have no food, no water. Remember the people who cannot get access to their medication because they don't have none. Remember the people who have no access to hospitals because the hospitals have been destroyed. They cannot go to the hospital because the roads are bad, because we destroyed their roads, we destroyed their water, we destroyed their infrastructure. Remember the kids who have been not at home, thrown out in the streets for 2 years because they have no schools, they have no shelter, no home. Many of them survived, the only surviving child of their family. Many of them are wounded. More than 18,000 children and injured people in Gaza are awaiting urgent medical evacuation from Gaza. The only one who's stopping them is Israel, and Israel is able to do this because the United States enables it to do that. The United States of America is providing Israel with the money, with the political cover, the diplomatic cover, the weapons, the bombs, despite all major gross violations of international law, American law, human decency, any basic universal values. Despite all of this, the United States, our politicians are providing Israel with everything, and that's why they feel they can do whatever they want and no one will lift a finger. We need to change this. Sitting with your family at the Thanksgiving dinner this coming Thursday, remember all those that we turned their life into misery. It was done. I know it's not me, it's not Martha, it's not Joseph, it's not Maribeth, it's not Elisa who did this, but it is done in our name. It is done with our tax money. It is done with our silence. The people in power don't really hold much power. We, the people, have the power, and it's only through our silence that they feel they they can do whatever they want. But once we speak up, once we educate the masses, once we mobilize everyone and go there and hold them accountable, they will change. And if they don't change, we will replace them like Mamdani. You can say whatever you want about Mamdani. He's not perfect. He's a human being like you and me, but he accomplished a miracle. He won as a Muslim, as an immigrant, as an anti-genocide, as an anti-ABAC, as an anti-capitalism, as a socialist. He won the most capitalist city in the world, the most Zionist city in the world, the most APAC city in the world, the most Trump city in the world because of Gaza. So this is a message to all of you guys in DC and everywhere. You can be like Mamdani, or we were going to replace you. And Gaza will have the final word all over the world, whether you like it or not. The sooner you wake up, the sooner you come on the right side of history, the better for you, for us, for Jews, for Muslims, for Christians, for Hindus, for atheists, for everyone. Everyone is losing now except few people like mosques and few Zionists, few Messianic people. Everyone else is losing. So we need to stop this. We have Hadil. We have educators with us in DC also. We were proud to have Hadil also join us for the first time. It was a great experience, and she had a lot of great insight. Hadil, are you there?
I am. Thank
Yes,
you.
what do you want to share? Any reflections, please?
It was a very memorable day. It was the first time that I've done anything like this lobbying, and I met everyone who's here on the call. I was able to meet in person. A wonderful experience. I think
You survived. You're
one of
good,
the
yeah?
things.
You survived. You're back home. You're good in one piece.
Alhamdulillah. Yes,
Alhamdulillah.
I'm
Good,
home.
good.
I'm home. I think one of the things that, as someone who has a background in education, and I think the wordplay that some of us, the meetings that we sat in was pretty eye-opening, and that, uh, representatives had stated that they are strategizing with particular groups. No one had mentioned APAC, but a lot of people had mentioned J Street, which is also very Zionist based in terms of their propaganda. And when asked, well, what about the other side? Who are you strategizing with there? There were lies that were presented, in particular by my own representative who we saw, Representative Quigley. And I reached out to Palestinian leaders here in Chicago, and they called it. They said that's bullshit. We have met with him. So how dare he lie and say that we have not tried to meet with him and strategize? That is not an accurate statement. But I do encourage everyone to go out. I mean, if you've got butterflies thinking about going, you're in good hands with all the members here and Doctors Against Genocide. And it's a really good experience. And if I can't make it back in December, I will definitely be back in January, inshallah.
Thank you,
And
Hadil. Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you.
I
Thank
hope
you
to
so
see
much,
you.
Hadil, especially that, Hadil has an excellent educational background, and she proofread our requests, checked the spelling, and it made everything look great. So
And she said that our writing is all over the place, grammar-wise, and we told her this is actually the most accurate way to portray English, because English and the West is all over the place. Putting them in a very neat and handsome and organized way is a disservice to truth and to humanity. Unfortunately, the West is the one that's committing all these things. And you see great people in the West like Elisa and Martha and Joseph and Maribeth, who are the most beautiful, the most amazing people you can meet in the world. Then you know there are people like Randy Fine and like Biden, like Obama, like all of those. So we don't want to, you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, thank you, Hadil. And we have Dr. Ashraf Abdulaziz and Dr. Fitzgerald. If you're still there, Dr. Ashraf, are you there? We missed you this time. أشرف دكتور أشرف المصريين هم
Yes. Yes.
أهلا وسهلا
Yes.
أهلين أهلا.
Thank you. Thank you, Nidal. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed this time, but I was following every step along the way. And as I said in my comments, that I was very proud of everything that was done. And I feel very proud being part of this great group. I just want to reinforce a couple of things that Gaza is not forgotten. We all remember Gaza, we all work for it. Even students in Muncie, Indiana, small town, Ball State, Indiana, they currently on hunger strike right now to push the administration to divest from Israel and from companies that support Israel. I had the pleasure of having a Zoom meeting with them, along with Dr. Jane Andrews and Dr. Monica. I'm sorry if I don't remember her last name exactly. I think it's Durant. I'm not sure, but we gave them some medical advice about how to conduct themselves during the hunger strike, about refeeding syndrome, about all of that, but we were very proud of them. Some of those students had been on hunger strike for 14 days. Some of them are even on no calorie, which is amazing. And hopefully this will put some pressure on the administration. The the one thing that I want to reemphasize today that was mentioned, and this is, of course, as a result of Mamdani's victory, which we are all proud of it, is that anyone who feels that he has the capability or has the will and the potential to run for office, please do it. We need as many people in the public arena. And always remember that politics starts locally. So even if you can't do it to the Congress or to the House of Representatives in DC, just run for a city council, run for county council, for school board, whatever. And one of the things that had been done here in Indiana, and I hope that it's replicated in different states, is that we do have a network called Indiana Muslim Advocacy Network that trains young people, especially young people, but anybody who wants to get into the public arena and running for office. So they let them meet with actual representatives, actual senators. They give them advice of how to do it, and they even can help establishing small PACs for them. So maybe if you feel like you have the potential, especially, and I'm encouraging especially young people to try to do that. And even if you start locally, maybe one day you will reach a position like Mamdani or even better. But maybe I hope that one day when we go to the Hill, we don't have to go around and talking to people who are getting their funds from APEC and this and that, but just having people who are from us, from our groups, one of us or hundreds of us are on the Hill. And this is my dream that with the next generation and maybe sooner, that we can see this on the Hill. When we go, we feel people, we meet with people who are sympathizing, who are really honest, who work for the American people, really, and not for foreign governments who are extorting our tax money and using it against our own benefits. Thank you again, everybody, for everything that had been done. I wish I could be with you in December. Unfortunately, I'm going to be in Canada on December the 17th, but hopefully I'll be there in January, inshallah.
Thank you,
Thank you
Ashraf.
again.
By the way, Ashraf,
Thank
you
you.
are famous. You are famous. Everyone loves you. Everyone missed you this time, and we're gonna miss you even more December. But inshallah, we'll see you in January. And thank you
Inshallah.
for bringing up this point of actually what happened with Mamdani is inspiring, and that we need more politicians who have integrity, who have a humanity, who have justice built in them, who are willing to defend humanity and be on the right side of history to run for offices. And actually, I'm nominating every one of you, Iman, Karama, Ashraf, Marta, Maribeth, Elisa, Dania, everyone, and the other Nidal who just came up to run for offices. A younger generation should run. We need people who, good quality human being to become our politicians. And I think this is the right time to do it. And Mamdani is an example that you can be anti-genocide, anti-capitalism, pro-humanity, pro-justice, and still win offices despite all the interest group going against you. I really encourage every one of you. I'm not going to run for political office because I cannot be a politician. I'm going to sit here to hold you accountable. Once you win, once you become politician, I'm going to sit here and hold you accountable and call you out if you come even close to J Street or APAC or Mosque or the likes. So I'll be seeing you in DC, guys. We'll make have to maybe Dania and Iman stay with me to make appointments. So everyone else, please run for offices.
Does anyone know the January date?
January 14, I think, Dania. Something like that. Yeah,
January 14. I'm gonna
January
put the
14.
sign up.
And February 11. So it seems I know them by heart by now, sir. Okay.
Yeah, I'll put
Now,
them in the
yeah.
chat.
Nidal can be a male name, can be a female name. So we have another Nidal joining us because her link is not working. I have to give her my link, so it's fine. It can be male or a female, but this is not. This is another female, another or the female type of Nidal. Dr. Adla Sukkar. أهلا وسهلا عدلة.
Hello, Ahlan.
You want to stay under the
Um,
name Nidal or you want us to change your name?
La la, I'll be Nadal. No, I was like, I actually like a lot of times I can't make the webinars and I was here today, my phone overheated because that's how long. So I had to I'm in a car with my kid. I had to stick my phone out of the window to cool it off so I could
Oh my
rejoin.
God.
Anyway, no, it's because I'm not getting a new phone, even though it keeps overheating, because I'm not going to do that to Congo. You know, I'm going to use it till it dies.
I'm glad you came back and you made it. We really need to hear the
Yeah.
feedback from you, Adla. Yeah, Adla is
Yeah, so and I'll keep it pretty brief.
guys, Adla is day one DAG. Day one.
I'm the OG DAG. I'm one of the
So
OG
her
DAG.
experience counts a lot. We need to hear from her.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll just sort of like some of the stuff that was already said was you know, similar sorts of findings. I mean, it was startling for me. You know, I had a shoulder issue with surgery and stuff, so I was sort of out for a little while in terms of coming back, and then had some other stuff. But it's been a few months since I've been on the hill, and it was shocking actually how different the halls of the hill look. With respect particularly to Rayburn, in terms of the lack of Israeli flags on every door and the lack of just overt signage in support of Israel. So that was really interesting to me. And I think, and one person in my group, and I can't remember who said it, they had been on the Hill in October, and they actually found that it was a really startling difference between even October and November. So that to me was interesting. The other thing I would say is that, you know, I was one of the team leads, and what was so interesting to me is that I really only knew like one or two people on my team. And it just really speaks to the fact that the momentum is growing and that more people are finding us and that more people are seeking us out as a constructive channel to be able to do this sort of work. There have been a lot of people that I do think I definitely got the impression of, had they known we existed earlier, they would have been with us sooner. But not just that, there were people in the group who, for whatever reasons, you know, whether it was in terms of educating themselves or whether it was in terms of finding their inner strength and their courage to sort of really start to do this work, they've found it. And so I think we should all really be, you know, happy about that. The other thing I'll say, you know, having been absent for a while, was so our group had a mix of, you know, sort of softball meetings in the sense that they were with relative allies. And they were very much mixed, though, with people who are not our allies. And so the fact that we even got those meetings was very interesting. And the fact that the group has had the sort of education that they have had, courtesy of these webinars, which I will watch a lot of times on YouTube when I can't join them. Is the fact that, you know, we have the language to sort of confront and deconstruct some of the false arguments that are presented to us, particularly with some of the MAGA offices, and frankly in the Democratic offices. Sometimes those are a bit more nuanced, and I think the fact that we actually know what we're talking about is very confronting and startling for some of these offices. And so, you know, I applaud, you know, all of you guys for all the education that you're providing for those of us who are going to go on the Hill to do this sort of work. Because I thought that, you know, it was a combination of constructive visits with the Republican offices in terms of just actually countering some of the very old, ridiculous arguments that have presented time and time again. But also with respect to, I feel like our group reaped the benefit of the work that has been done over the last several months. A lot of our conversations in the Democratic offices were not about primary, some of it was about primary education of, you know, it's not really a ceasefire of that nature, but, you know, in terms of pushing the conversation forward. Okay, last month we were here, we talked about this, that, and the other. You didn't do this. Why is that? You know, what do we need to do in order to advocate on behalf of, you know, being against genocide in order to get you there? And so these are, 30-minute visits, but they were very high yield. And I think that as a group, we've really learned how to conduct these meetings in a way that can be as high yield as possible. And so I think that the work that you guys do in terms of orienting, that the group does in terms of orienting people before they actually go onto the Hill for the first time continues to be very important, and is something that we need to really, again and again, reiterate and emphasize to people that they need to participate in that sort of an orientation, because you don't want the meetings to go off rail. You want them to be as highly organized and useful as possible so that we can continue the conversation next month. But just the fact that we're there month after month after month after month, we're proving not only our reliability, but our samud and our perseverance, and that we are not going away. And I do think that the offices understand that, and they recognize us by our coats, by our work, by our leave behinds, by everything. And then the last thing I would say is, just in terms of expanding our reach and the fact that like so many people are really looking for a place for a home, that DAG is for so many people. At the dinner that we had afterwards, Nidal and I, we went and we spoke with a resident who was I believe he's new to the DC area, but he comes from a program that was a school, I believe, that was like highly unionized. And so he brings that experience with him. And was really talking about trying to coordinate and to collaborate with DAG. And so I'm really happy to hear about the fact that we have so many dates already mentioned, because it's very difficult for residents and fellows to get time off of work, much in many ways more difficult than for an attending. And I think it was David who ran into Representative Raskin, who was like, so while we appreciate the letter that you sent about the West Bank annexations and Netanyahu and all of that, like we need more teeth in it, Representative Raskin. And he said to David, well, show up with 1,000 physicians and I'll do whatever you want. And it's sort of like, okay, challenge accepted. And so, one of the things that came out in that discussion with the residents was that they can come with us under the banner of their union, protected by their union. And there are 40,000 of them in just that one union. So, I mean, we continue to expand. We continue to, I think, push these avenues. And I really look forward to the day that, inshallah, we show up on the Hill with 1,000 doctors. But I think it's possible in a way that I never thought it was possible before. I absolutely think it's possible. We just have to do the work.
Yeah, we came a long way. We came a long way. It's a work in progress. I remember the first few times we went there, me, Adla, and Karama, we used to fight amongst each other every single time. No, don't do this. Don't say this. Say this. Not now. I mean, so it takes time to get used to it, to organize ourselves, to be all on the same page. And as Adla mentioned, to be very impactful and organized and use the time, the 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 15 minutes that we have in the best way possible. And I really think we are changing things. We're changing the needle, one step at a time, but it is working. We are learning ourselves. We are evolving. We're having more people join. And them on the other side also, they feel the heat. They know what crime they committed. They know their silence caused a lot of loss, a lot of damage, and they know that there is a price for supporting genocide. Every single one of them knows, whether it's a staffer or an elected official or administration or the spokesperson for the White House, Biden. Like now, wherever she goes, she's like she has like scabies. No one wants to talk to her. No one wants to hear from her. And this is what happens to every politician, wherever you are, every institution, every leader. If you support genocide, that's going to be your legacy forever. Your kids, your neighbors, your students, your co-workers, everyone will hate you. Just to please AIPAC, just to please Israel, you will be hated forever, and your legacy will be in the dustbin of history forever. So it is time to wake up. It is late. Yes, it is very late. 500,000 innocent lives have been lost, but it's better late than never. You can still do it now and try to do more to be on the right side of history and to fix all these problems. Dr. Fitzgerald, are you with us, Dr. Fitzgerald? Dr. Fitzgerald,
Chris,
Yes.
is she there?
No, not Chris. No, Dr. Fitzgerald
Ah,
from.
Dr. Fitzgerald. Okay, I thought, okay. Yeah. Maybe he's muted. But while we're waiting for him, I just want to say again
I have to
that
go. I have some work. So take over,
okay.
please. Everyone, thank you.
Just I want to say that it's really impressive how far we have gone being a completely volunteer organization. These 32 appointments have been made by Dania and Iman. Both of them are full-time medical professionals. They're not paid, they're not given compensation. They actually spend money from their own pocket to help DAG. So everybody here is completely volunteer, and it's really, I think we should all be very proud of this. We're doing this because we believe that genocide should not be something that we all accept, and we are willing to put our time, our energy, our mental and emotional energy into this work. And I can tell you that every time we all meet in one place, it is like we are one big family. There is so much love, there is so much appreciation, there is so much hope. There is no other space that I'd rather be than to be with you all together under this umbrella of fighting against genocide, fighting for the underdog, fighting for the children who are being starved, who are being killed, who are being blown into pieces anywhere in the world. It's really a work that we should all be very proud of. And those who are not doing this work and who are accepting the situation as status quo, shame. Shame on them. There is nothing in the world that's worth being silent on killing children or starving children. So thank you. I know we all feel the same way, so I don't think we need to thank each other as DAG, but it's really a special space, and I really appreciate it. I also want to send a shout out to our group on YouTube. The group on YouTube is very active. You guys should check YouTube every now and then. The chat is so energetic, so engaging. It's excellent feedback for all of us. People really feel energized by what we're doing. They feel grateful that the medical professionals, the doctor, are actually taking time out of their day to do this work. So sometimes it feels good to be appreciated. So thank you, YouTube. Anyone wants to say anything before we end? خلاص? We can end? Okay. All right, see you all next week. Love to you all. Goodbye.